November 15th, the Irish flight sim community comes together in Dublin. Hosted at GG Machines, the Dublin Community Meetup is a celebration of Microsoft Flight Simulator and of the people who bring our skies to life. At the heart of the event is an exclusive preview, a behind-the-scenes look at a brand new aircraft currently in development, revealed by the developer. Alongside this, we'll have live virtual ATC on the VATSIM network with Dublin staff so guests can experience live ATC. GG Machines will showcase Microsoft Flight Simulator across a full range of builds, from mini PCs and entry-level rigs to the high-end systems and VR. They'll be on hand to share expert advice on both hardware and software. Throughout the day, there'll be hands-on flying, community challenges, and exciting giveaways. Entry is free to this event, so check the description below for more information. Hello, everybody, happy Thursday. Good morning, hope you're all keeping well. Today we have some flight simage. Yes, we're here in Flight Sim 2024. We're going to be flying the P-180, the Avanti from FlightFX. We're going to be using some OnAir as we continue to build our company repertoire in our career mode, right? And then a little bit later on, we're going to do some plannage for our VATSIM flight this evening when we're flying in the United States. Canada into the United States. It's going to be brilliant. Anyway, how's that going for you? Hope you're keeping well. They opened up the CYUL beta testing last night for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on the PlayStation 5. And yes, I fired it up to see how it all was behaving. And, controllers! That's it, right? But fired it up, loaded up a Cessna down in Kerry. It's okay. It's a beta, right? I mean, there's things that obviously don't work. Performance and enhancements and all that, they all need to be tweaked. But certainly the foundation is there, which is exciting news. But, the mailman came today, look. Brilliant! Now listen, we need to explain this. We need a reason, right? I was looking at this a while ago and I said, Jesus, then this could be handy, right? Well, it arrived in the post this morning and it's sitting here, look. This is the screen. Look at the size of this thing, look. But it's basically a monitor. Imagine if I dropped it. It's a monitor and it's touchscreen. It's a touchy-feely monitor. And I need to find some friggin' real estate now to put the shagging thing. I don't know where this is going to go, to be honest. I've been, So I have these radio stacks over there underneath the Say Intentions emblem, right? And I don't use them because, they're old and, they're not very good. It's an autopilot and a radio stack and I don't use them. So I'm thinking, do I put them out of it and put this into it? It could fit there. You know what I'm saying? It could. Or maybe I put it over there. I haven't figured it out yet, lads. We'll hide it there so you can't see it. But that came in the mail today, so I've stuff to do. But apart from that, what else? Oh, they came with wires as well. I've always wanted more wires in my room, I can tell you. Jesus. But yeah, we're hot on the heels from yesterday. And after the dev stream for Microsoft Flight Sim, and some scratching of the heads moments for sure, especially when in relation to crossplay. They had mentioned that PS5 will not feature crossplay with Xbox or PC. And I was thinking more on this last night, and the more you think about it, there is something got to do with the multiplayer servers that Microsoft Flight Sim are currently using. Right? Think about it now. Because they had to get whatever they had. Maybe they're in contract with someone. I have this very sneaky suspicion, and I've had this for a while, that's subbed out to someone. There's a company who's providing that space to provide the multiplayer platform. Right? I don't think it's Microsoft themselves directly or that of Asobo. Now, I could be wrong in this, but I don't think so. And I think that's where the head-scratching moments are. I imagine that's possibly a long-term project or contract, right? And because whatever server that they're using or service provider that they're using, it could be the case that, you know, it's not compatible when it comes to the likes of PlayStation. And if you were to consider other games that are multi-platform, you know, they work on Xbox, PC and PlayStation, and you have crossplay. EA Sports do one, you know, Forza do one, and we've always kind of said there are some limitations when it comes to the multiplayer experience with Microsoft Flight Sim. Now you might say, what do you mean limitations? Well, there's no private servers, and even if there are private servers, there's a maximum of 6 users, which is shag all use. That means you can't password protect, you can't have, you know, closed group flights of any real sort of tangible kind of thing. Maximum is 6 aircraft. That's you plus 5. I remember back in the day, there was all various lobbies. You can go in and say, hey, I want to be on this group or that group or whatever. You know what I mean? But we just don't have those... We just don't have those options. We don't have those choices. So I wonder then, you know, how do we get past this? Because I still think it's an issue. Do you know, it's not like, oh, that's unfortunate. I genuinely believe this is a problem. Because if you don't have crossplay, think of it from the community's perspective, whereby, well, if everyone's on Xbox, right, and they just don't have access to Xbox, and they have a PlayStation, well, sure, they're shagged. They can't play with it. They can't fly with you. So I think they need to do something there. So yeah, I was thinking more on that. I haven't come up with a solution yet. I just, you know, I'm looking more into the restrictions, and I said, well, it must be a third party and they're under contract. And if they move, it'll cost a lot of money. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on it? But it's all mad. But yeah, Dazza, look it up, man. It's called the Corsair Xenon. Very fancy bit of kit. Now, basically, as I said, what it is, all this is a touchscreen, right? That you can have things like virtual stream decks and little kind of, you know, widgets that show you your temperatures and all the jazz. You can see some stuff there in the back of the box. There's a man with a hand pressing a button. And I always look at these sort of kind of cool stuff. It's a 14.5-inch LCD touchscreen. I do always look at these kind of stuff because from a content creator perspective, yeah, it's handy to have buttons, don't get me wrong. But as a flight simmer, you're thinking, all right, these are about 240 bucks. Are they 250? They're about that, right? And you're saying to yourself, right, what am I going to get for that? They're designed to fit under your monitor, or they can actually go beside your monitor, or, you know, there's a magnet on it, so you can actually just put it on your PC. Or if you want to get even weirder, you can put it inside your PC if you wanted to. But in terms of flight simulation, well, if you did have something like a virtual stream deck, you can put buttons in, right? You can also put in moving maps or Navigraph. Basically, kind of gives you the option. Gives you the option rather than having multiple monitors, big, heavy monitors. This thing is powered by USB, and it'll use a display port. Most of the modern graphics cards literally have one HDMI out, and they've about 3 or 4 display port out. So they knew what they were doing with this. Now, I haven't turned it on yet. I saw it. I watched a couple of videos on it before I kind of said, right, I'm going to go out and get one. And that's the unit in my hand. And it sits on a case. That's magnetic. So you don't necessarily need that. And there's loads of mounting options with this gadget. Now, it looks weird and shiny because still the film is still on it, look. Hang on. There's no sounds off it. But the film is still on it. I didn't take it off yet. But on the back of it, you know, you can mount it. There's 2 screw points here. right? Or you can just, put it on the stand, or, do what you need to do with it. It's a very fancy bit of kit. There's some, restrictions. The stand is designed to keep it that way, which is grand. But like, if you wanted to put it that way, you have to get very kind of creative, because it doesn't stand upright. So anyway, I'll be messing around and trying to figure the life of me how to work it. Probably a little bit later on, or certainly tomorrow. That's my bit of research to do tomorrow. And next week, I'm busy next week. I'm busy next Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't think we'll have a stream on Tuesday, lads, because I'm at business meeting things. Just to give you an update on where life is going and all the rest. We're 4 months into this full-time gig, which is incredible. And I need to learn more the business management side. I mean, I know business management, but not as a sole entity or as self-employed, or what do they call them? A sole operator, right? So I need to learn more on that. So I'm working with kind of local councils and stuff to figure out, hey, what do I need to learn here? What do I need to do from the business side of the house? Do you know what I mean? So I have to go off and get educated in that. But things are absolutely, well, they're flying it. So far, so good, as the fella said, when it comes to what we're doing. And it's all thanks to you guys, because, well, you guys enable me to do this. That's how this works, right? And yeah, we have some sponsorships there as well. But the awesome people of IndyBills, we've Say Intentions, and we've been working with OnAir now for the last couple of months. And it's my way of thinking of channel sponsors and how we work with channel sponsors. It has to be relative to what it is that we're doing. I've tried stuff in the past that didn't necessarily work out. You saw me here trying, there was drinks. What were they called? Holy. And like I'm a devil for energy drinks, so it's like, yeah, that could fit, because like I drink energy drinks and I don't want to be like polluting myself. But you always try and go with something that fits, that we can all benefit from as a community. And well, we do with these amazing sponsors that we have. But as I said, I need to learn more on the business side. It's mad when you start kind of, it goes very much from just a hobby, and then you apply, business acumen to it, and you say, right, okay, well, like this thing is now its own entity. You kind of have to approach things with your business cap on, which I'm not very used to. Certainly did it in my normal professional life before I retired back in May. But like everything was all, cost, price, profit, loss, everything. Every decision you made was based on that. This is different because it's quite a new environment, and it allows us to do things. And as I said, like the last 4 months, it's gone so fast. And like, it's amazing. I never thought it was going to be quite as busy, and I love being busy. But in terms of what goes on, I mean, everything from like live streaming, which I don't want to say is a lazy way out of it, but I love live streaming. I can do videos. I've made videos in the past, but it's quite linear, and 12, 13 hours of...
Get a refund?
No, shag off! 12 or 13 hours of like editing a video for maybe 5 to 10 minutes long. You know what I mean? I prefer the interaction. I'm well happier when we get to interact. Do you know what I mean? And that's one side of it. Then we have all the the different stuff that we're doing. The likes of OnAir doing career building stuff. Another Monday night series starting. The likes of taking part in our VATSIM Thursday flights. So there's lots of content there that I'm really interested in. But there's also tons more that I'm working in the background, you see. So yeah, I just had to give you a little update. Everything's going grand, and thank you also very much indeed for rooting for me and supporting me and what I do. And well, hopefully you're not too miffed about it, that Murphy fella. But then it means also I could be looking at this sort of stuff, like the Corsair stuff. Jesus. We can look at the Corsair stuff to see, is there hardware or software for that matter that can benefit us as flight simmers? Because we are a flight sim community. I mean, it's aviation mad. Yeah, we do our driving and a bit of racing, and there's other stuff that'll be coming down the line as well. But to have a place that you can say, listen, I want to know if this thing is any good. And it's like, don't just look at a video of it. Be in a live stream, ask the questions. Hey, can it do this? Can it do that? What's the feedback? That's very valuable, I think. I mean, I look at content creators to find the same thing as well. So it's fierce handy. Jesus, look, Frankenstein, you absolute mad divil you. Steiny, what are you doing? 10 gifted tier 1 subs at this time of the morning. Jesus. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Steiny, do be sure to say thank you. Insane generosity and supportage, man. You're very good. Thank you very, very much indeed. But yeah, so it's loads of fun, and we're doing stuff in the back. There's two things I showed you there on the during the intro. We're doing a community meetup in Dublin in November, on the 15th of November, and we have a venue, GG Machines, who we work with. There's Rob in GG Machines, just one of the nicest people and most knowledgeable people when it comes to hardware, software, and computers, making stuff work together. He's a very interesting story. We'll learn about it when we'll do a live stream up there. But where Rob is at, he's like, no, listen, do an event, get people to come, right? We can show them how the sim works on like a mini PC, which are all the rage now, lads. Mini PCs. You can get like cheap and cheerful ones. I have 3 mini PCs. That'll tell you where I'm at. I've one that drives the Unibill sign behind me and Navigraph. I've another one that runs this gadget. And then I've another one running me Home Assistant, right? And these are cheap and cheerful. Like, you're talking $200, right? And then where GG Machines are showing me, Rob has like these high-end mini PCs, $600-700, and it's running Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in 4K at about 40 FPS. But for that, now, okay, you might have head scratching when it comes to adding peripherals, so we need to do a bit of homework on it. But where Rob is saying is, listen, you don't necessarily need the big, massive towers. You can actually get, everything into this little box, and it'll work very well. Not only that, though, we also want to look at some of the entry-level PCs, and it also gives folks the choice then, and we'll be covering all of this at the event. Let's say, for example, you're on an NVIDIA machine, and you're using Intel, right? Like an i5 or an i7 or an i9 or whatever it is, and you're using, like a 3080 or a 2080 perhaps. And yeah, all the rage is definitely 5090, which are still a ridiculous price. And they're going to stay there for a while until they bring out their next cards, right? But no one's really looking at the AMD stuff. And you'd be kind of thinking, Jesus, most streamers, or a lot of streamers in Flight Sim, well, they all seem to be rocking, AMD's 9800 X3D chips and the 5090s. And I can tell you that that's what I'm using, and the performance is exactly what I expect it to be. However, AMD, when it comes to their graphics cards, especially their upcoming graphics cards, they're going to be cheaper and just as good. Just as good. So it gives folks now the opportunity to say, well, let's see what the sim is going to run like using this sort of hardware. Plus, there'll be other things on the day when it comes to, listen, is there certain software, right? Is there something I can put on my PC, this magical piece of software I can put on my PC that'll actually make it run the sim better? But the short answer is, yes, there is. There's various bits of software you can throw on there, but it's not without understanding why it works. And that's where Rob and GG Machines, they're going to try to explain the why. And I think that's important. We'll go off and we'll look at... I look at these guys, for example. I look at Linus, I look at Jay's 2 cents, and I'll see what they're doing. I say, oh, that looks handy. I'll go off and I'll try it. And sometimes I break things, But specifically when it comes to Flight Sim, there are programs there, depending on your hardware, can absolutely elevate your performance beyond anything you thought was possible. The likes of saying, DLSS or, the frame gen stuff, or even Project or Process Lasso. Like, there's all different stuffs that you can put in. And then you have basic window settings. Like, there's a lot of kind of stuff you can do in the background that doesn't cost you anything, that'll actually get you better performance. Because we're always on the hunt for better performance. We may not be expecting, top tier stuff, but it would be nice to squeeze out a few extra FPS or just get to that level of smoothness. One thing that still amazes me, lads, people running their rolling cache, or they're running add-ons with the likes of Add-ons Linker, and they're putting all their add-ons on a different drive because it has more space. Now, that's great for your real estate, right? That's great for your space issue. The problem is, if that drive or drives is slower than what your sim is installed on, that has a massive impact on your performance, and thus brings in the likes of stutters and lag spikes and all this kind of jazz. So there's loads of things we can be kind of scratching our head saying, Jesus, how could we make this work better? So we're going to be covering quite a lot of that on November 15th. And of course, the other events and the other things we're doing on the day is going to be that of a behind the scenes look of an aircraft currently in development. And there's all exciting things about said aircraft and what we're going to be doing with said aircraft. And Adam, which I need to get him a couple of points, is going to be providing a bit of ATC, and well, hopefully we can get a few more involved as well. My hope is for those who can't make the event, well, we can still be there together. So if we can have a bit of activity with folks maybe flying on VATSIM, or we can fire up a live stream and maybe we do a group fly-in as well, it kind of keeps everyone, if you can't make it to Ireland for that weekend, because, well, Ireland's expensive. This is a dear kip to live in, you know, but it's a lovely out little country, but it's dear, you know. So my hope is that you can still kind of experience the event, which is a community meetup. Like anyone who's been at them before, loads of crack, loads of fun. And then this year was the first time we've done the UK as just a meetup, which was insanely fun. And, you know, we went out to Duxford, we went out for a few pints in London that night. But the highlight, it's meeting folks, it's meeting our community, specifically our community. Because y'all slag me, but it's brilliant, you know. And then, of course, we have the expos. Of course, we have FS Weekend in the Netherlands, which is happening in March of next year. I'll be at that. And, of course, we have FlightSim Expo. But the one in Dublin, where, you know, London was the start of it. It was to give us like a daytime event to do us something. And then we go out for, you know, a few tasty beverages and a bite to eat in the evening time. And you're just hanging out, having the chat, which is always good old crack. And again, the slaggins, you know, I want to wear me Crocs. The venue is in Ballymount in Dublin. GG Machines in Ballymount in Dublin. And they're a reseller. They build PC... they assemble PCs based on various components, and they sell them primarily to the Irish market. But here's the thing. They want more than just to be, you know, this brand that sells stuff, because they can see, and Rob, he comes from a gaming background. He can see the difference of, you know, if you buy PCs or whatever on Amazon, for instance, right, from a no-name store, well, you're kind of shagged when it comes to support. You just are. And where GG Machines will come in, yeah, you might pay an extra 5 or 10%, but the support, and I'm proof of that. I had an issue with an i9 4090 system a couple of months back. I didn't do anything wrong. A BIOS update followed by a Windows update shagged the entire thing. And when I say shagged, everything else worked perfectly except for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It kept crashing no matter what I did. What? How is that even possible? The system I'm running now, it's, you know, relatively bulletproof. The sim is going to crash, it's going to crash. There's bugs in the sim. We all know that. But your system shouldn't be bringing down the sim. The sim will break itself. Let that happen. But your system should not be the reason as to why. So by all of this, I figured out quite a lot what the sim doesn't like running. Purely by, well, if I turn that off and I turn that off, will it crash? No, it didn't crash. Turn it back on again. Will it crash? Yeah, it crashed. Right? It doesn't like this stuff. And a shout out, of course, to Sam, Q8 Pilot. Sam did some great work looking into the, the Microsoft visualization or virtualization stuff. You know, like their virtual V server crack. There's a lot of that installed in your Windows PC. Windows PCs, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in them, right? But he figured out, listen, if you're not actually using these drivers, turn them off. The reason being is, even though you're not using them, they're live on your system, and the operating system every now and again glances, yeah, we're grand. And that leads to performance, or it leads to, you know, extra orders, as I call them, on your CPU or your GPU. So there's a lot of stuff we can do in the background. So the hope is, with our Dublin meetup from the GG Machine side, it's all about bringing value to people, because we're missing that in the world. There's no one really giving value. We can buy things and we can look at things, but there's no one actually coming along and saying, come here, I'm going to help you out. No strings attached. Let's chat about this and try and fix it. We need more of that in the world. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of where that's at. Do you know? So I'm looking forward to it. So that's happening in November. And then there's other stuff then we'll have to see. There's other stuff we have to see. As I said, with the event, there'll be prizes and giveaways, but we'll keep some stuff online as well for anyone who's, as I said, who can tune in. I don't know yet what the schedule will be, live streaming, and we put out a yoke on our Discord. If you can, lads, I know Cornwolf is asking, but I'm asking as well. What I'd love to have when people arrive at the venue, you know, we've a screen, right? And people walk in and it's just a video. We'll make a video like 5 minutes long. And I want our community there. Hey, how's it going? This is whoever from wherever. That's it. It's just a hello. I think that'd be really nice for folks walking in because it gives everyone the sense of being together. So I'm asking, if you have the chance, reach out to myself or Cornwolf and say, Murph, I put together a little video, but all I'm saying is, how are you? But that'll do, right? Because I'd love to have that as we arrive. Do you know? I don't know why I read your channel name as 2 Ton Murphy. Listen, I've been called many things, Jamaican Runner. Or as I used to call you, Jamaican Runner. Yeah, so the 2 Tone, I got sunburned years ago, and that's how I got my name. Right, it was red and white. It was terrible, but that's where I got my name. But yes, it'll be a bit of fun for sure. But anyway, how's everyone? How's your sim running? As I said, I had this fired up on the PlayStation last night just to see, and I don't know how. I don't know if there's NDAs. Or, I can't remember reading anything about an NDA. I don't know if anyone else has streamed PlayStation footage yet, but I can tell you, on the Pro, you're limited with the settings you can use. There's no graphical settings. The only things you can turn down are like your character detail, I think fauna. That's it. You don't have much. There's no sliders like turning stuff on or off. And I think it ran in 4K. It ran with HDR, and it ran at about, if I were to guess, about 40 FPS. I would think. That was my testing last night in a Cessna 172 in Kerry with no custom nothing. You know what I mean? So, no resolution slider. Now, your resolution would be dictated by the game settings of your PlayStation, as in you can force it. I just happen to have an OLED TV that runs at 120 hertz, so it's always going to try and push 4K at the highest refresh rate. So that's an impact on the PlayStation as well, you know. But I will be spending a bit more time on it because that's all part of your beta testing it, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. One thing I will say I thought was really nice on that DualShock Sense controller, whatever PlayStation call it, right? On this gadget here, well, this controller, there's a microphone and a speaker built into it. So when you're flying along, you're getting altitude alerts, you know, 500, and it comes out of the gadget, which is absolutely mad. That's quite immersive. You're flying along, and yeah, you have the noise of the aircraft if you're in your headphones or it's on your TV or whatever. But then your controller is speaking to you, you know, 500, terrain ahead, terrain ahead. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nice feature. You know what I mean? Again, if you're not going to be able to use something like a HOTAS, you're struggling, but the sensitivity of figuring out the controls, I was quite impressed with it, to be honest. And even there's a lot of different button combinations of, well, how do we move? How can we change our view? What's the flaps? You know, all of that kind of stuff. I still haven't figured out trim yet. The feedback on the triggers is crazy. Yeah, no, it feels great for a controller. I think it's far better than what Xbox have. Far better. Like, it's superior in every way. And I mean the what do they call it? They call it the ultra controller, right? So yeah, it's is there a developer mode? No. There's like it's bare bones. There's no marketplace. Like, it's bare bones. But I was impressed because I was sitting there, I put a smile on my face to say, I'm now, as I do, I'm changing all the weather to make it look absolutely gorgeous. And I'm saying, holy crap, man, this is running on a PlayStation. Microsoft Flight Sim is running on a PlayStation. This is amazing. And you have the 4K HDR. Frame rates, there was no stuttering, but noticeably slower. As I reckon about 40 FPS. Could have been even 30 FPS. But it was still absolutely fine for flying. Like 22 FPS, I think, is the limit. Anything less than 22 FPS, you're going to really notice it. As a flight simmer, especially flight simmers who've used previous platforms and titles, we know where the sweet spot is. 25 to 30, ideally 30 FPS. But anything less than 22, you're going to have a bad hair day. You know what I mean? Right bumper and right stick up and down for the trim. Oh, is it? I need to try that. Because I was shagged without the trim. But yeah, I need to double check. As I said, I don't know where other people are streaming it yet. I'll show it off by all means. I'll give you a look at it. We won't do it today, but we'll do it soon. If you have any questions in relation to the PlayStation, do you know? And It's exciting. It is exciting. It's upsetting that we don't have an option yet for crossplay. But again, if you look at the way York said that yesterday, he's like a man saying, you know, this is not my call. It's not there. So like, I think us as a community, as an entire flight sim community, we need to start letting people know this is not on. You know, you need to do something here. And as I said, maybe the higher echelons within Microsoft will say, all right, okay, we'll take the hit on this and make it work. Because they're probably thinking, it'd be all right, let's wait. You know what I mean? Because it's business at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So it looks great on Xbox, but I've never had an Xbox game that crashes so much. Yeah, and that's the worry. Like, I mean, I remember last time I tried Microsoft Flight Sim on a console, it was up in Gibbo's house. And I was like, man alive, this is terrible. It was awful. But on the PlayStation, as I said, granted, it's vanilla bare bones. But it worked. It worked. Sounds are good. The scenes are stunning. If I had to guess where some of the sliders are, I would say the LOD is probably sitting at 100, right? Or maybe slightly less. Texture resolution, a little bit less, right? So it's not going to be all bells and whistles, but you're not going to get all bells and whistles out of Microsoft Flight Sim on something that might cost you, you know, $700 or $800. But then they get back into the whole mini PC thing. Because if you were to consider a mini PC, which have higher specs, much higher specs, well, maybe you could. 4K Ultra running at 40 FPS. That's what Rob was able to test in GG Machines. So if you were to dial your settings down, you would easily lock in 60 FPS. Easily. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it could be interesting. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, you're all very welcome in. Any questions relating to flight simulation, you know, hardware, software, whatever, lads, I'm all ears. Do be sure to let us know. I was also chatting with the lovely people at OnAir. They're working on a massive update. No, I don't think I can give details yet, so I'll have to wait. But they're working on a massive update to OnAir. They're adding in tons of additional sceneries and stuff. So looking forward to that. I was also chatting... for those of you who use DCS, we're going to be showcasing a little bit of DCS next Wednesday on the news, an introduction to an upcoming add-on. So that should be fun, right? I know enough about DCS to know I know nothing about DCS, but it is a pretty sim. It is a pretty sim. It's just the control binding is enough to scare, you know, the devil himself, do you know? But anyway, Chalk's working and lurking. Welcome in, my dude. Frozen Gamer, welcome in. Lead Ballooner, how are you this morning? Good to see you, man. Malky is here. Steiny, of course, fired up the PC just now and thought, yes, he's on. Good to see you, man. And thank you very much indeed, once again, for those 10 gifted subs. The man is a legend. 98 Vulcan, very good day to you. Dazza, I've got an eye infection. That's me flying off the table for the weekend. Oh, Jesus, you serious, Dazza? Yeah, he had to circumvent the bot. I saw the original message. I don't know why I blocked that, but sure, look it. Hope you're well, Daz, apart from the eye business. Will you get to wear a patch? You could be a pirate pilot. Private pilot. Pirate. Right? I'm just saying. Filthy, good morning. Hope you're well. Eamon 1973 is in the house. Good morning, Eamon. Commander Snow is here. Toto, welcome in. David Bay, good to see you. Yeah, we're going to use flights in 2024 for our VATSIM flight tonight. I need to, will you remind me, I need to download deliveries from the website, lads. I didn't have that last week or the week before. P. Swan, a very good morning. Toombs is here. Good to see you, Toombs. The Impossible Phase, good morning, troops. Hope you're well, buddy. Apache's in the house. Welcome in. Buy a few more of those and have them stacked up. They're pretty cool looking, aren't they? Sparkling Water, good to see you, buddy. What's the screen and reaches for the wallet? Yeah. The Corsair Xenon. It's really nice. Mini Maverick, welcome in. Hope you're well. Naughty Gnome, 58 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. And Naughty, congratulations for getting your PC back up and running. And yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be as fast as it's ever been. Or even better. Great news, my dude. Abdul is here. Good morning. Let me see. Papa Justify. Hope you're well. Rip Johnny. Good to see you, Rip. Hope you're well. License plate messenger for live view input. Starting with Shag Off. That could work, Steiny. Yeah. Your name here. You know. That's pretty cool. Aotak. AO attack, rather, angle of attack. You're good to see you, buddy. You're very good for joining us. B. Carlo, good morning. Hope you're well. Who else come in there now? That scared me. It scared the crap out of me as well. He's a legend. Steiny's a legend. Biggles, good morning. I'm watching you while we're here at work. Brilliant. If anyone walks in, tell them you're in a seminar of important things. Yes. The Impossible Face, proper mini ITX builds are great. Absolute devil to work, though. Yeah. I bet Greta rocks at least APCs, right? Top Gun Lenny, good morning. Mr. Minimite is here. The Rock, good to see you, man. Techno Bear, welcome in. Larry is here. SSD M2 only, yeah. If you can, put your... and that's even... We talk about upgrades. Because I'm not... Flight simmers in general tend to be quite tech savvy. We're forced to be tech savvy because, well, we want the best out of our sims, right? So when you're talking to flight simmers, in general, they seem to have an edge over most people when it comes to components and what your PC should have versus what it shouldn't have, right? However, your storage, where you actually have the sim, and I'm a demon for this. For years, I always ran a flight simulator outside of the main C Windows drive. X-Plane, Microsoft Flight Sim, I always did. And I never realised, I said, that's no problem at all. I'm telling you, there's issues when you put it outside of that directory. There just is. I don't know why there is, but there is. I don't know, is it to do with the lane speed on your motherboard, right? Because C always gets priority for fast booting and all this. Or is it the case that some program files are buried in C and then other files are buried somewhere else, and that's where you're getting all this kind of bottleneck stuff. So these are all things to consider. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, where's the venue, Biggles? Yeah, Ballymount. That's okay, Naughty Gnome. You're in Sweden. That's going to be fun. Photos by Kev is here. Good morning, Kev. Hope you're well. Let me see here now. Did you get your PS5 beta code? I did. Let me see here now. Spice of Life. Yeah, it's the it was interesting, but no resolution slider. You know what I mean? What can you do? Crafty Tigers, good morning. Filthy says, even though they can't play on multiplayer, I bet it'll still lead to people or lead people to the stream. When I started Flight Sim, I was on Xbox Series S. I enjoyed it so much, I went looking for content on Twitch, and then I found you, and the rest is history. Ooh. Yeah, well, I think, naturally, anyone, and, you can stream directly from your PlayStation as well. You don't need to worry about PCs or any of this jazz. You can actually live stream directly from your PlayStation. But, my objective for folks going to be flying on PlayStation is trying to help if help is needed or when help is needed. How do you do this? What does that mean? How do I figure out this one? That's what I want to be there for if needed. Do you know? We'll see how that goes. David Bay, it looked great on Xbox. Yeah. Drew Moore is here. Good to see you, Drew. Upcoming Xbox PS console MPU specs have been leaked. Near 5090 performance. Yeah, I don't know. It's if they're going to be near 5090 performance, they're going to have to be for next gen. But when are they going to be available? You know. Paparazzi is here. Good morning. 5:30 in the morning from Texas. Good morning to you, my guy. Hope you're well. Sim Guy, welcome aboard. Hope you're well, buddy. Bell Bro, happy Thursday. Hope you're well. He only broke his previous PC parts so he can get the free Haribos. Right? That's what you want. Now, let me see. Is it Casper? Got a random sub. Thank you to whoever, although I've been lurking for a while now. I really love this stream, so dropping a follow. Well, thank you very, very much indeed. Very kind of you. Oh, matter bashing me toe. Did you hear it? Oh, Jesus. I'm after kicking me doff reality control box. Oh, that was sore. Anyway, Naughty Gnome says, it is faster for sure. I should have RMA'd the motherboard back at the start when I found the problem about the 12% performance increase. The RMA clock, yeah. I need to look into that. I've never used that on mine, you know. I split my operating or my OS drive into several partitions. The game is on the big one. Us PC users have the ability to adapt our system, so it makes it easier to adapt or change things. The real crux is, are you brave enough? But once you've done it, you get a tad more confidence at modding your rig. Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing about, a PC versus console. PCs are modular. You can upgrade and update components over a relatively long life cycle. You can't do that with your console. But that's why then we tend to find console games tend to be better optimized. Ascari Wolf is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Ross Code, good morning. It's more like Trigger's broom at this stage. 16-year-old case, 10-year-old power supply, several platform upgrades. It works though, right? Do you use 4 times frame generator in Microsoft Flight Sim? I do, Top Gun Lenny, and yes, it will always revert back to 2 whenever you close the game. It is a bug, and I don't know why it is. Even if you lock the NVIDIA app, it's a bug. And I've even tried editing the configuration files to lock it into ×4. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I don't know what it is. RMA is return. Oh, sorry, RMA return to manufacturer. Sorry, I thought it was that other gadget we do. You know. And of course, this is here, top of the morning. Hope you're well. Who else come in the door, lads? Very busy here on a Thursday morning. I like that you're all flat out working. Kubi Montana, good to see you. Lee Russell, good morning. East Coast NIC. INC, East Coast Inc. Welcome in, my dude. Brabus, a very good morning to you, my guy. Sandman is here. Virtue Sim, welcome in. Aces High. Does the B-17 come out today? It was supposed to release yesterday. I need to check that actually. The B-17. Muse fan, business. Good to see you, Muse. Happy Thursday, man. Thank you, Virtue Sim. Kyle Smith, good to see you. Stevie Bees is here from Tenerife. Hello from Tipperary, where the weather is... It's not bad. It's not bad. Robert Harrison, good morning. Mr. TPHI, a very good morning. Excited about the on-air update. Yes. Yeah, I was chatting to them earlier on. There's lots of stuff going on, Mr. TPHI. But I hope you're well, man. How are you this fine Thursday? Rolling Stone, welcome in. Peter Russell, good day to you, sir. Hope you're well. Muse says, a quick reminder, don't forget to download deliveries for tonight's flight. You're welcome. Thanks, Muse. Will you remind me again in about, 7 minutes? Brilliant. Any road, I have to pop out to work, says the impossible face. Have a great day, buddy. Have a great day. Right, we'll get into this, look. And welcome to the plane that looks like it's... Yeah. It looks mad, right? Does that be loud in your ears? The squeaking noises. Muse fan says no. Good man. Antonio, good to see you. Hello from a rainy South Florida. Is there a better way to get the airlines to respond to clouds and mountain winds? I feel that in 2024, the flight is always too smooth and no turbulence even on realistic. So you have turbulence settings, right? Low, medium or high. And it does really depend on the real world weather, Antonio. So a couple of things you can do, right? If you were to, there's a website I love using. It's called badbadweather.com. Badbadweather.com. And you can go in here and find out, well, thunderstorms, that should give us a bit of turbulence. You can click on to say, well, where's the worst weather in the world? And it'll tell you. It'll tell you what's happening. This is one way to do it. Where's all the wind? Where's all the gusts? And so on, right? So it's just called badbadweather.com. If you ever want to give yourself a challenge in the sim, go into badbadweather.com and have at it, right? Another thing you can do is go on to Sky Vector. And Sky Vector will actually show you turbulence. If you go down to, if you click on weather, click on turbulence. Now they show segments as well, right? But if you can turn off segments if you want. If you just want to look for turbulence, see these green? This is where it's reporting turbulent air on Sky Vector, and this is free as well, right? So you just go to the layers, click on weather, scroll down where it has air mets, and then you can see turbulence. Click on turbulence and it'll show you. So we're flying in Italy this morning. I don't think it works in Europe actually, because a lot of this data comes from the US. But we're in Italy. We're actually in Rome this morning. And we're going to be firing up on air and planning some flights here in this machine from FlightFX. And this is an aircraft that disappeared. This is an aircraft that, when it first came out, there was a lot of hype around it. But then the sheer speed of updates of new aircraft releases, this thing has kind of found its way into the back of the hangar. So I said, listen, we better take it out of the hangar today, give it a dust off and take it for a flight. Because it is a super airplane. It looks absolutely mad, and it is a real-world aircraft. The P-180 Avanti is friggin' nuts. And some of the characteristics of this, you'll even see. The nose, it looks like a shark. The nose on this is so aggressive in terms of its slant. The friggin' glare shield didn't even match up to it, look. See all this? That's a bit, look at the gap. That's as per the real aircraft, right? So it didn't even line up, which is mad looking. But that's just the way the aerodynamics were built into the aircraft itself. It's a phenomenal machine. It does have that beautiful canard wing up the front. It's a push configuration of a turboprop propeller. So instead of pulling it through the air, it pushes you through the air. And that creates for some very comfortable flight and also sound advantages as well for your crew, you know? Yeah, they didn't help themselves with the C750. I think that the C750 is a great bit of kit, but this is every bit as good as it. This is your C750 quality in a turboprop, right? So this is our machine we're going to take for a blast today. We're on the ground here at in Rome in Campino Airport. I used to call it Ciampino, but it's Campino, just outside the Imperial City. And well, what we're going to do, we're going to go into OnAir now, and we're going to look for a flight that's going to take us for a spin. Right. So with that said, we're going to go now and open OnAir Company, and we'll enter the world of crash logistics. And this should be a lot of fun here now as well. If you're joining us, of course, on YouTube, we have our vertical stream. You're very welcome in, YouTube viewers, watching our vertical stream. Hope you're having a great day. And let's see what happens here. So we'll enter Cumulus. This is our crash logistics, and we're building this up. We're building up our repertoire. We're building up our skills. We're building up some currency, and just overall our reputation, meaning that we'll get access to bigger and better jobs, make a few more quid, and then we'll get into the entire FBOs, building up our empire, building into industry, because that's where we're trying to go, you know. Jfoot says, is the plane a proper 24 plane yet? No, I don't think it's just properly done in 24. I could be mistaken though. Muse fan, have a great day, buddy. We'll catch you later. Plane looks like a flying saucer, right? Oh, were you looking to get? Oh, I was. Good man, Malky. Yes, I was. I'm looking to take on someone to fly my Comanche. So let's have a look at this. Let us look at our company here. My employees. So there's only me at the moment, right? So my plan here is if we hire in an AI pilot, they can start flying our Comanche. So what we do, we go into the world and we can click on hire employees. So this is going to find employees for us to hire, right? Now, Malky, we can hire in someone. I just need to figure out how can we now. Do we just give them random flights, or do we need to put them on company routes? You know what I mean? So we can have a look down here. So price per week, price per hour, the total wages, and then we're looking at the punctuality and stress resistance. Now, all of these things have a huge impact because it shows their experience with the flight hours, how likely they are to run late, but also how likely are they to have an accident because if they're rushing, right? And then the stress resistance, how busy their schedule can be, you know, before they start kind of freaking out. So we have options here. So what we'll do, lads, we're going to do two things. One, we're going to identify someone to hire, and then two, well, you guys are going to get to name said pilot. So we need to come up with a name. All right. So let me see. We can send out an evaluation. So let's look at the price per week. So as cheap as, I just want to look at pilots. So as cheap as, let me see, price per week, 1,000 a week, or as expensive as almost 2,000 a week. You can just find a job for the plane and assign the AI pilot, or you can do work orders. Okay. Right, so we need to try and find someone. I'm looking for someone that has a good few flight hours and is pretty good here. Here's one here, look. Douglas. 9,000 hours, but he's 1,700 quid a week. 117 quid a flight. His wages are 252 euros. Let's go off and evaluate him. So his name is Douglas. We need to name this guy, lads. So we can rename him here now in a second. The licenses that he has, we need an SL or an SEPL, single engine piston land. So he already has that. Douglas Bader. Douglas Bader, Shirley Dev. Call him Gibbo. Gibbo kill me. Hire, or so we can hire, right? Select a home airport. So we were kind of using KAGS. You can always try a freelancer for a day or three. Jemima. Where is this now? We'll go with, I think it's Augusta. That's where we're based. Now we can just hire this guy flat out, or we can hire as a freelancer. Let's hire him flat out, right? So Douglas Bader, get in there now. DB. Resistance under stress is good, punctuality is good, and he's 10 certs, so he can fly helos, he can do the whole shebang. Let's hire him. Signed, and we're in. So if we now look at our employees, we can see that he's idling at the moment. We can manage, so we can also update his skills. Now, another way of looking at this, we could have taken on someone for nowhere near the same expenses and actually build up their attributes over their own career. But this is our first guy. We're going to give him a blast. Let's see what happens. Now we can transport him to a different airport. We can change his base of operations. We can put him on rest, and we can go into training. And we can say, right, well, what sort of training do you want him to be on? And how long do you want him to start that training? Now this guy is highly skilled. Douglas Bader. Why didn't it save that? Douglas Bader, he's going to be our chief pilot. Is there a save button I'm missing? I should have done it. So Douglas Bader, he's there, right? So what we're going to do, my company, if we look at a work order, and let's see what options we have, right? There's no work order, so we can create one. Select our aircraft. There's our Comanche, right? Let me see. There's pilot. We can select Douglas Bader. I don't have work orders. Hang on. We'll go into freelance. Dashboard. Here we go. So we're going to browse the logistics center. And we're going to look at the following. So we're currently sitting in X-plane configuration. So we'll go back over to Microsoft Flight Sim. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Save that. Back into my company. Dashboard. We're going to look for a freelance job. Now I think I could do it from in here, right? Select from a recent flight, aircraft and departure. So we're going to select our Comanche. We're going to depart out of, where is the Comanche? It was KPDX, wasn't it? Or KP something. Show my aircraft. Dish. So our Comanche, oops, you divil. Our Comanche is sitting in KPXE. So departure is going to be KPXE, right? Perry Houston. And if we look at some cargo flights, and we're going to see now, can we assign this? I could be doing this wrong, but can we assign all this work? So let's look for like the most expensive, because we're going to put this divil on it, right? There's 22 grand. Look, but it's a lot of flying. It's 4 flights, right? Now, for me to take on this job, I wonder, can I do this? Aircraft departure, select from flight. So if we were to say this one, accept the job, right? If I've done this wrong, I'll figure it out another way. Show legs, abandon legs, or fly now. So if I go back into here, pending jobs, can I assign a pilot to this? Let's have a look, lads. So that's cancel the job. No, that's a different one. Work orders. So starting date, total distance, edit. Will it show this now? Be PA24. From Perry Houston. Douglas Bader. Don't abandon your legs. No, that's not it. Hang on now. Delete that work order. Live operations map dashboard. King Wizard, good to see you, buddy. I have employees. I'm trying to figure out my flight. Look. It's to do with a work order, but I think we need to set up a company for that, or set up a route for that. Let's see, show legs. Ace, I think so. Now, freelance jobs. So how do we get our man to do this? So if I say prepare for flight, can I select the pilot? Let's see. Cargo, passengers, aircraft details. I think this is set for me to fly, which we don't want. I don't want to fly this one. I want L. Douglas to fly this. Managed by the operator. That's the crew. Right, I think I've done this wrong, lads. So hang on. Let's figure this one out together. Abandon that. Good luck to you. And we'll go in here and we're going to look at work orders, because I'm almost certain we have to go work order. Freelance jobs are for you, not AI. Yeah, I was thinking that. So I'm looking for select a pilot now, select an aircraft or Piper. Create a new work order. And we want this to be Douglas Bader, who's idling. We want him flying out of Perry Houston. Now how do we find jobs for this though? You know what I'm saying? Malky, how do we do this again? Work orders, FBOs, skills, ranks, completed jobs. It has to be in the operations. Charter jobs. I wonder, is this it? Butley, good to see you. Select legs. So are we right in doing it from a work order? We are. Let's have a look. I can't get the AI to fly that one. Do. So we're going to select a leg. Aha. So destination. But how do we find the jobs for this? Do you know what I mean? Add a leg. So how do we I need to find the jobs though. Do you know what I mean? This should be showing me the jobs for this work order. Does that make sense? Work orders allow you to create a series of scheduled legs, loading and unloading cargo and passengers along the way, keeping your employees, aircraft and company working even when you're not around. Creating them, however, can be a little complicated side and comes with some caveats that you should be aware of to avoid your carefully laid plans being stopped in their tracks along the way. Wait until you come back at the helm to set them. All right, so set up legs. So we're saying, right, leg one, destination. Bring them back to CAGS, Perry Houston, right? And let me see. Select all payloads and load passengers. That's okay. So there's the first leg. Second leg is going to be from CAGS back to KPXE, for instance, right? Steiny, yeah, have a great day. Have a great day. Estimated fuel, yeah, that's all grand. Fuel at the FBO. No fuel operation at leg departure. It's okay. Transport company employees. Don't need to do that. The little target icon, hit that. Ah, connecting to the global freight. Thank you, Malky. So this will find us jobs, or this will find jobs that can be assigned to him from here. Right, perfect. Go back one. Because our first job, we're going to click up here, right? We're going to find a job now, and then he can be tipping around in the background and we'll go off and do our flight, right? Your CPU seems to have died today. Had a strange lag in Microsoft Flight Sim, the computer boot and just beeps. Oh, Jesus, really? Right. These are missions here, so there's the job. It's time sensitive, though. Right, take that one on. We're not approved for that job, so we can't take that on. Balls. I'd love to do a medical job, but we can't. So we can't do them jobs. Right, okay. So we've KP. That's a relatively short flight. Right, we'll do that one, so. Printed magazines. We'll do that.
Hello there.
Go back. Refresh. Why didn't you do that now? You might need to transport Douglas out to KPXE as he's still at CAGS. Yeah, we'll do that now in a sec. Your company's not approved for medical jobs. No, we know that. This is cargo, sightseeing glider offshore, query the logistics center. So we want a job from there to Perry Houston. Direction from there to there, yes. Query the logistics center. Medic 24, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So I can't do that job. That's the problem. We can, however, do this job. So if I say, add this job to my pending jobs. So pending jobs. Let's tidy this screen up a little bit. So, 1, 2, get rid of that one because we can't carry that. It's medical. So how do we do this now? So there's the first job. So CAGS. I wonder, can he do that for 38 grand? Outsourcing? Outsource me jobs? No. We want to do these ourselves. So these are our pending jobs, right? We're learning this together. Into the work order. Also, don't select jobs with a little blue icon, Roger. Edit this. Legs. Here's some stuff here. So first leg is going to be from KPXE over to KJES. Right? We're going to load that. Then we're going to go back to KPXE and do this. We can't do two of them at the same time. That's okay. Right. Select all payloads to load passengers on board. Level 3 mission, local jobs. Required, yes. So we can't do that just yet. Alright, let's see, can we do this one? Level 3. Let's try this one. Local jobs. Now, for me to do all of this, cargo, eco, cargo, and then eco. So for me to do this one down here, doesn't expire. Mission, level 3. Don't select jobs with the blue icon to the right as the need. So, is that what you mean by that? No. Oh, the blue icon to the right. Okay. Now, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, KLES. But that doesn't seem right. Delete that. Right. Legs. Aircraft and crew. We're selecting Douglas. Departure is going to be Perry Houston. Set up the legs. Add a leg. These are the jobs. So we're going to say, right, from here to there. We're going to, can't load that. Why can't we load that? All right, load that, right? Now, if we activate this, status, Douglas Bader is not at KPXE. Grand. Let's move the Divil over to KPXE. So we're going to click on Douglas. We're going to manage him, and we're going to transport him. Transport to KPXE. Start transportation. Transportation will take 15 minutes. Yeah, go on. So he'll be there in about 15 minutes, right? So we go back into our work order. And he will arrive in about 15 minutes. So when he does, we can then start and activate that order, right? Now, should he do that automatically? He's been assigned to it, so my thinking is as soon as he arrives there, he's going to grab our Comanche and then off he goes. So I reckon we just leave that sit right there. In the meantime, now we're going to look at our own flight. We're going to go into the dashboard. We're going to look at the logistics center, and we're going to take on our own flight. So we're connected, no flight tracking, that's okay. And then we'll put in our own IKO. So let's look at some cargo and passenger flights. Press the play symbol and he'll go off automatically. Okay, excellent. We're learning this together. Okay, so we hit the play button, save and activate. Right, we'll see what happens there, right? Alright, go back into here. And as I said, we want to take on a job out of our local airport here in Rome. So let's have a look at what we can do. I don't want to go too far on this, so we'll go distance. Let me see now. Ooh, that could be a nice little flight. Arezzo, LIQL. That's up Pisa neck of the woods. LIPF. That's not bad either. We got 1,700 quid for that. Or we just go up to LIQL. Tasnano. Private owner. 1,500 quid. He should leave now when he arrives. Or when he arrives. Brilliant. Okay, sweet. I'm just trying to look for a flight here. LICJ. No. Here's a single leg. 250 miles though. That's fairly far. Right, we might go for something like this. What are we taking? We are taking funeral attendees and also some manufacturing clothes. Funeral attendant. That's a bit of a sad state of affairs. That's for the money isn't huge there. Let's look at this one. LIPF. 186 nautical miles. Artists and heavy machinery. Let's go and take this. LIPF. LIRA LIPF. Right, let's get in and have a look at this. So, we're going to go LIRA and then LIPF. Right? LIPF. Ferrara, it's called. Ferrara, size 1, shows legs. Right, we're going to fly now. And everything's loaded up. Heavy machinery, that's all grand. Sim brief dispatch, that's all grand. Fuel on board, we're going to be overweight there. So we're going to give ourselves 65% fuel. Okay. We're at like top capacity. Destination we said is LIPF. And our return, or alternate, we'll head back to here. Yeah, we'll head back to here. You need to validate your fuel. Okay. UTC offset. What time is it now? It's 10 past 12. It'll be 10 past 1. Fly now. Let's see what happens. All our weight and balances are gone in. That's what the flight is looking like up the road. LIPF. Super duper. Let's move this guy across. We're going to click start tracking. We'll bring up Navigraph while we're waiting. And we'll put this in manually. So we're going to go LIRA over to LIPF. Excellent. Okay. In which then we're going to be VFR. So, hello, say intentions. Got some say intentions working here as well, lads. Energizer, good to see you, buddy. Say intentions also increasing their prices. They're putting them up a little bit, but that's only for new people who sign up, I think, after November or something. J-Foot, it's a 2020 plane, but it works just fine. It works just fine. Now, let me see. This is going to be synced with Firefly Air. If I go into the pilot portal, and what I'll do inside the pilot portal, I'll put in a flight plan. We're going to go VFR. I'm going to put in November 235 Romeo Mike. Aircraft type is going to be that of a P-180. Altitude on this leg, let me see. We're VFR. Create that trip. We're VFR. So I think we're heading up to the northwest. So we'll go 8,500. We'll go 6,500. Airspeed, probably about 200. Flight route, direct. So departure is from LIRA. Arrival is going to be LIPF. File the plan with say intentions. That looks good. That looks good. We'll do one of those. Sky Ops, Firefly Air, 118904. Right, let's get started with the aircraft. So, we shall remove the chocks, the instrument covers, the engine covers. We'll go ahead and get the door closed here as well. As for the cabin configuration, everything should be looking real nice. Beautiful. And what else do we need here? Active noise, that's okay, that's okay. Right, I think we're okay here for the moment. So, right, haven't flown this in a hot minute. Let's see what options we have. So, we have avionics. We also have our fuel, which is down here. Perfect. Battery coming on. And let me see. We have some fuel pumps. We'll go right side and left side. While we're sitting here now, we're going to go ahead and get some other bits and bobs working. Taxi lights are off. Pitot stall off. What else do we need to do here now? Cooling fans, they're all fine. Circuit breakers are in. Let's come down here and let's just double check all our system tests. All the warnings you have. Isn't it deadly? Okay. They all sound tickety-boo. Circuit breakers, they're all looking grand. Across the main top, go ahead and cancel these. That's all grand. We have our ECAS here. All right. Let us progress to see what's going to happen. We will put on our fasten seatbelts. We'll put on our position lights. We have our throttles. We have condition levers. Put G off. Flaps are in the off position. Let me see. Pedostatic generators. EPU arm. Leave that alone for the moment. Fuel valve right side open. And then we're going to go right hand start. So ignition is already set to normal. So that's going to be grand. So our plan here is to give this a blast on the right hand side. Get the hydraulic pump running just in case we need it. And we're going to start for an engine startup. And let's see what happens. Ooh. Spitfire, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Okay, 23, fuel in.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Thanks very much. Okay, getting a good start. So keep it in ground idle. We do have to go to flight idle to get the other engine up and running. So we'll go flight idle. And then we'll go for start on the left hand side. While we're here, fuel pump off. Or standby. Left side pump. Left side fuel valve. And we'll go for start. What a great machine, lads. Alright, there's NG spinach. Left side coming up. All the Star Trek noises. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. Alrighty. So back in the ground idle. Fuel pump standby. Avionics fully on. Generators left and right fully on. EPU arm. Ignition's good. That's all good. Auto feather test. And then leave off. And then arm. Anti-collision lights switch to ground. Cabin is all grand. Wing is all grand. We're looking good here, sports fans. ILS alignment is coming in. No flight plan reading just yet. We'll change all that now in a moment. And we can use a couple of things. We can use our onboard. We can use our onboard initialize position, right? Let's see here now. So position initialization. Airport is that of L, I, or A. Key not active. Wait, what? LIRA. Key not active. LIRA, LIPF. Okay, now we need to initialize our position. Why isn't that working right? So data link, that's fine. There we go. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good. Runway for departure. Let's have a quick look. Runway 15. So it's going to be departing to the south, we'll left turn and then out over the city. So let me see. Runway route via runway. Doesn't like that. Flight number Firefly 235. Cruise altitude, let's put in at 6,500. Execute. Takeoff details. We should be able to get this out magically. But failing that, airports, cancel, weather, winds 210 at 5, 210 at 5. Outside temperature is 22 degrees. And the QNH is 30.12. All right. The Sin Boogie, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. That's grand. Takeoff mid, that's grand. Send, Kino active, fair enough. Execute. Departure and arrival, runway 15. And then, that looks good to me. Flight plan, legs page, runway 15. Takeoff is going to be auto, and then it's going to be straight to our destination, which is just going to be LIPF. Right, that'll do. And we're saying it's runway 15, so that's going to be a taxi out to our left, and then across. That'll do. Right, caution light is on. Stall and pitot heater is not on yet. Go ahead and turn these guys on. We're looking good now. We can go ahead and reset our baro and also our directional indicators. Flight director coming in. Altitude was set for the initial 6,500. And let's see what happens here. Alright, 6,500 gone in. Speed, we'll worry about that in a moment. Let me see. We want to talk to Firefly Air 118.9. 118.940. Firefly Ops, good morning. Firefly 235. We are getting ready to leave Lima, India, Romeo Alpha. Where are we flying to? We're heading up to, what's it called? LIPF? Ferrara Airport.
Firefly 235, Firefly, good afternoon. Destination LIPF noted. Contact Rome departure for clearance and taxi instructions. Safe flight.
Roger. Alrighty. Contact Rome departure for clearance.
Firefly 235, contact Rome departure on 125.5 for clearance and taxi instructions.
Will do, thank you. Okay, is there an ATIS on the ground here?
End course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information whiskey.
They must have known I was coming. Rome departure, good morning. Firefly 235, we are at P-180 on the ramp at Lima, India, Romeo Alpha. Information whiskey on board. Request VIA4 flight following to our destination of Lima, India, Papa, Foxtrot at 6,500 feet. Swifty, thank you very much indeed for subscribing. Welcome in, buddy. Let's see what it says. Right, so I'm happy there. Cooling now.
Firefly 235 on departure. Maintain VFR at or below 6,500. Departure on 125.5 squawk 5226.
5226. On departure, maintain VFR at or below 6,500. Departure on 125.5 squawk 5226 for Firefly 235. 5226. 52.
Firefly 235, read back correct, contact ground on 121.75 when ready.
Roger, contact ground 121.75 when ready. Firefly 235. Now that's our gadget in, but how do we put it onto how do we change our squawk mode? Let me see. Let us see, friends. Is it on NavRad? Or radio? Do we not have like TARA or TCAS? Alright, that'll do. Over the ground. Ground, good morning. Firefly 235. Request taxi runway 15. Campino in Roma.
Firefly 235, runway 15 taxi via Sierra Alpha, 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 Alpha.
Taxi runway 15 via Sierra Alpha, Alpha, and Alpha Alpha. Firefly 235. Jeez, that was a bit of a... wasn't it? Sierra Alpha, Alpha, and then Alpha Alpha. Right, so that's where they're bringing us. All right, so we'll get ourselves ready to rock here. Parking brake coming off. Small bit of power. Don't hit the gadget. We'll do a right turn and just circle around. We have a little Century ADSB on the window. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Alright. Ah, sure, there's midlife Rex. Look. On Rex. Now, let's have a look here, Murph. Let's have a look. So this is Sierra Alpha, and then we'll just kind of tip ahead of Rex here. Commander Snow, welcome in, welcome in. There's quite a bit going on, like when you consider it, lads, right? Between OnAir, that's doing all our career mode and progression mode. And then we're using, say, intentions then to provide us with that extra level of, you know, immersion that we have when it comes to the likes of ATC and even just talking to our own Firefly Air station. There's quite a lot going on in the background. I love this. It's absolutely cool. It's brilliant. So let's have a little look-see. Easy now, Murph. Don't break things. We want to see synthetic vision. Here we go. So as we continue to taxi here, we're going to just hold short and we'll do one of these, look. There's our machine, look. Isn't it mad looking?
Firefly 235, contact tower on 119.4. Have a good afternoon.
Over the tower now on 119.4, Firefly 235. All right, easy now. This is Alpha Alpha. Tower, good morning. Firefly 235, holding short, runway 15 at Alpha Alpha. We are ready for departure. All right. In a box, man. Good to see you. Sounds very good, yeah.
Firefly 235, Campino Tower, runway 15, winds 210 at 6, cleared for takeoff.
It was at this moment he knew he... Clear takeoff, runway 15, Firefly 235. Right. Let there be lights. Where's me landing light in this gadget? There we go. That's the lights. You gotta love the Italians, right? Easy now, Jemima. Easy now. Left clear. Right clear. We just taxi a little way forward. We are cleared for takeoff. Dee 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 dee. Easy does it, Jemima. Easy does it. All right, friends. Let's get ourselves situated here. Propeller power full. She's on the way. All right, power coming in. Don't explode your engines, Murphy. There we go. Anti-fetter's working. Or auto-fetter. Airspeed alive, 70 knots. 90 knots. Upsy daisy. Easy, Jesus, easy does it. Jesus. That seemed a very bit kind of, didn't it? Alright, yaw dampener set. Bit of trim. Good man yourself, Rex. Yeah, that was super fast. Jesus, you'd have instantly started vomiting. Right, let me see. Heading mode, and let's throw on the autopilot. Let's go heading mode. Let's go vertical speed. We'll give ourselves about 1800 here, and we're looking good. Firefly 235 airborne, passing 1,600 feet. Almost looks like manual trim in the HOTAS is still set to full. Andy 64 spilled his beer. Oh no! That's where the Pope's summer retreat is, look. Look at the state of that! Jeez, the photogrammetry, will you load in with that, will you? Alright, in comes the left turn. We'll go to departure, I suppose. Departure, Firefly 235, passing 3,500 for 6,500. Easy now.
Firefly 235, Rome departure identified.
Rome departure identified. Great news. Jeez, look at the view out the window there. That is gorgeous. Beautiful. The Italians know how to do it, lads. Right, lights. Disappear those. Nice gentle climb, 150 knots. Murphy, do not wait until tower handed you off. So I tried to contact the tower to tell them I was airborne. They didn't respond.
Firefly 235, Rome departure. Contact Roma info on 125.75, transponder 7000. Have a good afternoon.
Contact Rome information 12575, transponder 7000, Firefly 235. Is interesting. Rome information, Firefly 235, passing 6,000 feet for 6,500. So sometimes it could be an automatic handover.
Firefly 235, Roma info, climb altitude 6500 feet.
Climb altitude 6500 feet, Firefly 235. So some places you do get automatic handover, as in you just talk to departure, and that was the instruction. After departure, contact departure, yeah? In the US, they might tell you, they'll hand you over. In Ireland, for example, out of Dublin, that's an automatic handover.
Firefly 235, report position.
Oh, Jesus. Firefly 235, altitude 6,500 feet. We are 2 miles west of Lima, India, Romeo Alpha. East. Did I say east or west? Balls.
Firefly 235, roger. 2 miles west of Lira at 6500 feet. Report next waypoint.
Correction. Firefly 235 is 2 miles east of Lima, India, Romeo Alpha. Alright, cruise speed is looking pretty good in this. Temperatures and pressures are all looking good. 9 degrees outside. Wasn't too happy with that takeoff. That confused it, probably. You wouldn't need to tell Tower you are airborne. It depends. Sometimes, it depends, Malky. ATC could say report when airborne. You know what I mean? They didn't on that, but the fact that they didn't say anything after I departed, that's why I just wanted to challenge them just to see. You know what I mean? We'll give them a position report in a little while. We'll head up to... We'll fly to the Campino VOR, will we? Let's see here. 111.4. 111.4. 111.4. 1114. Can I now get a VOR? 111.4. We'll fly to intercept this radial. What's Navigraph telling me what the frequency is? .4, yeah. Bum ba dum bum ba. Max Stallion, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Where are we getting the VOR on that? There we go. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Are there any refreshments or food in this aircraft? Why, yes there is. We have a plated dinner, some pizza, or a boxed lunch. I reckon we serve some pizza while we're in Italy. Oh, job brilliant! Iced tea and pizza, I mean, oh Jesus then, wouldn't you? Jesus then, pepperoni, the whole shebang, peppers. Jesus, I'd love a pizza now. Whose idea was that? Right, so, if I change my course, is that going to upset this? I imagine it will. It will. Just making sure, just making sure. Stuffed crust too, right? Murph, do you know what next week's marketplace sale starts? Iceman, I don't. Right, let's just get ourselves lined up here on the radial 310, heading towards what's called the Campano. No? Yeah, Campano. Campanano. Campanano. Right, okay. Let's see what happens here. This is very pretty. You gotta love the photogrammetry in and around Rome. I love flying in Italy. Gorgeous. Isn't that a cool looking plane? It's so friggin' weird, isn't it? All it needs, Murph. Oh, a Barrett sausage from Joe's Takeaway. Oh, Jesus. Do you remember Joe's? I've been to Joe's. If you go into Joe's and ask them for a battered sausage, they'll give you a bag of chips with your battered sausage. Fabulous. Okay, indicate airspeed 185. That's 2005 over the ground. We're chugging away nicely. 6,500 feet. Temps and pressures of the aircraft are fine. Airplane is flying well. And we're serving pizza in the back. Brilliant. Oh, great news. Someone had a blueprint back to front of this thing, right? It's mad looking, isn't it? But it's a cool plane. This is an awesome airplane. They've done a great job on this. They really have. All right, we're just 3 miles. We'll give them a shout when we're overhead. Goosh. There's our Garmin pilot showing us what's happening. So we'll give them a shout once we're overhead and see what happens then. What type of pizza in it, or is it? It looks like a pepperoni pizza with peppers. It looks rather Moorish now, to be honest. I'd eat a pizza now, lads. If you to tell me you want a pizza, I'd eat a pizza. You know. Okay, pretty much overhead the VOR here. Simming Sav, thank you very much indeed. 5 months, dude. Cheers, buddy. It is a sweet looking bird. Yeah, I know it is. It's class. Firefly 235, we are overhead the Charlie Mike Papa VOR at 6,500. Continue on. Man, look at the lakes up here. Stunning, isn't it? With pineapple on it. No, I didn't say it didn't. Is there pineapple on it? Well, there is too. That looks like, well, is it pineapple? It looks like, Jesus, there's sweet corn and olives as well. They've gone all out. Anchovies. You know what anchovies? Adam Controls, good to see you. Adam, are you still okay for November to do some ATCage? Just I hope so. Rome info, Firefly 235, overhead the Charlie Mike Papa VOR at 6,500 feet. Looks like avocado. Do. Will they respond? Not looking very likely, is it? That might need a restart. So it knows what I'm saying, but they just haven't come back with a shout. Interesting. Right. Let me see now. We go into our FMS here. Let's go direct. Direct LIPF. Execute that. And we're going to go to nav mode. There she be. Now the good news again with all of this is it's using it's able to use whatchamacallit, Pocket Sky, right? So if I were to show you in Pocket Sky, will this work? It will. So here's Pocket Sky on the screen, right? And you can see our last bit of communication overhead. Charlie Mike Papa VOR. Let's see if we copied. Let's send that. Waiting for a response. Right? Raiden, good to see you. Do. Avocado to me feels like tastes like addictive. Or an additive. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Is this working? Hello? We'll just say hello and see what happens. Waiting for a response. We might have to restart say intentions. It does this every now and again. No response. Hopefully it remembers everything. Yeah, Pocket Sky is pretty cool. It's awesome. It's awesome. Right, let's have a look here now. So we should be talking to 12575. November 235. Firefly Air 235. We are now 10 miles north of the Charlie Mike Papa VOR, 6,500 feet. Jesus, who are you? What are you?
Firefly 235, roger. 10 miles north of Charlie Mike Papa VOR at 6500 feet. Report next waypoint.
Roger, will report next waypoint, Firefly 235. Alright, it just needed a restart. So what you can see on Pocket Sky here in the screen, lads, a couple of things we can do, right? We can look at the flight, so showing us our origin, our destination should come in here as well. Should do. And we can see all our detail looking on the map of where we're flying to, right? So that's pretty cool. We can also go in and have a look at all the different frequencies, so we can see, okay, well, these are all our COM frequencies, COM 2. We can do a search for the airports, so for example, LIPF. Search. Whoa, Grath, welcome in! Grath Rang, welcome in, Raiders. Hope you guys had an awesome stream. You're very welcome aboard. You join us here in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We're flying in the Avanti, the P-180, and we're just out for an out spin. We're out for a spin with OnAir and Say Intentions. Grath, thank you very much indeed for the raid, buddy. Welcome in, lads. Very happy Thursday. So let me see. So METAR, that's all grand. And then we have a scratch pad, which is new. So we can change how this, that's our craft, taxi, departure, arrival, ATIS, frequency, approach, or notes. Isn't that fierce handy? It was asking for my next waypoint rather than report my next waypoint. Yes, it could be. It could 100% be doing that. Let's have a look. Firefly 235, next waypoint will be overflying Lima, India, Quebec, Bravo. Let's see what he says to that, but I think report next waypoint. So I think it's report at, that's what I'd report at next waypoint. That's my ATC skill would do that. But anyway. Devil Kid, I love OnAir. It's so good, man. It's so good. I wonder, actually, did old mate start flying yet? And we probably won't see it on the map. No, we won't. So this is our current flight. So if I go into company, live operations map. Let me see. Now, why is he idling? He shouldn't be idling. He's still in he's still transporting. Ah! There he goes! Work order is in progress. Brilliant. Live operations map. Let's have a look now. Ah, good man yourself, Douglas Bader. He's absolutely booting it, look. Yes. So he's doing his thing and I'm doing my thing. Isn't that absolutely only brilliant? Isn't that brilliant, isn't it? I am in Italy doing the Italian thing. He's in America doing the American thing. Come on, Douglas. Back to our tracking page. We're doing all, I say we're doing all right. Beacon strobe. Oh, balls. It didn't like what we were doing. Should be all right. Should be all right. All right. Gotta head off to work. Filthy, have a great day, buddy. Take it fierce handy out there. Old mate isn't talking to us and saying intentions again. I wonder if they're doing work on the server. Roma info, Firefly 235. Our next waypoint will be Lima, India, Quebec, Bravo. Do. Man, look at those
Firefly
engines.
235, roger. Report next waypoint after LIQP.
If you had to pick one area to fly, where would it be? Ooh, Australia's always nice to fly in, I find. To be honest, man, there's so many places. There's like so many places for really nice flying these days. Like it's hard to find just one place to say, yeah, you know, this is where I'll always fly. Italy is always stunning. Anywhere in America, anywhere in Canada. Australia is always, you know, I fly in Ireland most of the time. Man, look at this machine. Isn't it absolutely mad looking, isn't it? It's cool looking. Swifty, where is that? The Maranello factory. Where is that now? It's not up near Milan or something, no? The nose wing. It's a canard wing, it's called. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Off to the doctors, Dennis C. Have a good day at the doctors, buddy. What a mad looking bus. We have some pretty cool and unusual aircraft. Between this and the Starship, you know, I think points have to be handed out there for the weirdest looking aircraft, right? Medina in Italy. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to be close to it. So there's Medina. Oh no, wait, no, balls. Get rid of that. We want you to go this way. There we go. Right, so what I've done using Garmin, we've just dragged our little route up the road a bit.
Hello
right?
there.
So I'm going to adjust now back into heading mode. Where the hell is heading? Oh yeah. Into heading mode. I'm going to go this way. Real Heisenberg, welcome aboard. Finally received an email stating that my wing throttle is coming. Ooh, nice. I always think of a catfish when I see this thing. Yeah, it's mad looking, isn't it? Wing throttle, that's going to be exciting, dude. Awesome news. We're well on our way here, friends. This is looking absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous! So, let me see here now. Got some synthetic vision. That's all coming well. We'll do one of these with one of those. And we're just going to kind of, you know, ramble on for our flight here in Italy. It's only gorgeous. The Iceman, yeah, it is. Real good. Yes, Swifty, we're heading for the Ferrari factory. They look like the mustachioed villains of the world. Mike, I couldn't agree more with you, man. That's a great way to put it. That looks a little bit better. So we're using JoinFS as well. So if you're on 2020, you can fly along with us. How low can we fly over it? Pretty low. I don't know if it's a fully modeled, but it'll be interesting to see if it is, right? Ooh. There'd be buttons all over the shop. Actually, wouldn't it be better if that faded in? Must kind of update that. So we're 30 minutes out to the Ferrari factory. We'll overfly that and then we'll do our landing into Lima India Papa Foxtrot. As we continue to fly, all is looking well in the realm. Now, we could increase our speed here a smidgen, so why don't we do that? Bring that torque up a smidgen. Not too much now. Don't break it, Murph. You're to breaking it, Murph. Easy now, Jemima. Easy. There we go. That's going to pick up our speed. You're at the factory this time last year? No way, man. Commander Snow, yeah, dude, 2024, it's... You know, it gets a lot of moans and whinges, and I get it, but it's still an awesome sim. Oh man, it's so good. And like, you know, when you group in all the different things, like, I mean, this is a fairly lively setup we have here now between, you know, Garmin Pilot on the screen, which is just cool. Now that's a different kettle of fish altogether. But, you know, it doesn't have to be Garmin. I mean, if you wanted to, we can bring Navigraph up on this, I'm sure. Right? I mean, you could use your EFB as you would on any tablet, which I absolutely love, right? So I can bring up Navigraph in this tablet here in front of me, so I'm monitoring our flight. And I can edit this flight in real time as well. So where are we heading to? It's Medina. Let's see now. Medina. So let's grab this puppy. No, can we grab you? I want to move you. Let's see. How do we do this now? Medina. So we can add this to the route. And we're going to end it as a fix add before. There we go. And if we go into our flights, options, make this one VF4. And that's how we're looking there, ladies and gentlemen. And it'll show our aircraft on this. Again, we can change what sort of maps we're looking at. We've got satellite here. Ew. Isn't it very cool? The vibe here never disappoints. I always love chatting on your stream. Thanks very much, Devil Kid. You're very kind, sir. Very kind. So yeah, we're using an absolute barrel load of stuff. The Garmin stuff, it's real world. That's why I kind of, you know what I mean? This is a real world DFB that we have. So I do like using that and including that in our content, just to show, you know, it brings us that little bit closer. But of course, as I say, I mean, between the setup from the virtual stream, I mean, that's what the guys can see on the vertical cam. They can see this other camera, this one here where I'm waving. And that's where my tablet is in front of me, right? So that's where I can do all my stuff. And again, we can swap it over to Navigraph. We can swap it over to say intentions using Pocket Sky. And that'll load up everything that we need to see as well, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. All the different things we can look at. And the advantage, of course, running this gear outside of your PC, well, you're not worried about, you know, frame rates or issues. You're running these programs outside of your sim. You just need Sim Connect, which comes with Navigraph. As for the Garmin stuff, there's a little program from Flight Events, and that's just broadcasting it locally inside my own network. That's how we get to see it on the screen. So it is fierce handy now. Fierce handy. Do you know? But we're flying nicely. We've beautiful views, and a small little course correction just come in. Our ground speed is 223. We're at only 6,500 feet. But it's looking good. And then my mission later on is to install that Corsair Xenon. I don't really have space in front of me, but ideally I want it in front of me. So I can move my FCU over from WinWing and put that beside me, right? And that'll remove the two SciTech units I have. But then all this gear would have to move down a little bit to fit that screen in. Because it's a fairly long screen. Or I put the screen beside me. Would that fit? Let's have a look. In theory, it'll fit. Yeah. You do a little bit on the desk in front of you. Yeah, I don't have much room though. Like for this to fit in, I mean, I'd have to move stuff, but I think we'd squeeze it. I think we could squeeze it, lads. A few more tweaks, you need your own substation, right? I think we can, hang on. I know! You muppet! You just turned off your monitor. What an absolute horrible thing to do. Hang on. Oh Jesus, I pressed the button. Why are we immediately losing speed? Hang on a second, what happened there? What happened there, lads? What the f... Okay, I pressed the button and I put it into reverse thrust. Say nothing. Say nothing. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Don't break your engines, Murph. Do not break your engines. Okay, now I've lost my monitor. Stupid thing. Display. Identify. Why aren't you turning on? Why aren't you turning on, I say? Why do I do these things in the middle of it? Right? Hang on. Move you out of the way. What did Murphy do? Oh, Jesus, wait, let me tell you what he did. You know. Why is that working? You've shagged it now, Murphy! You've shagged it now! Now the plane is giving out to me because it's going too fast. Slow it down there now, will you?
A refund?
No, there's no refunds! Right, my screen is back on. Great news. Will you slow down there, please, Toto? Now. And now we were saying, move that gear over. I don't know. Should I be moving all that stuff over?
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Hammer Nails! And yourself. Captain McCoy is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Yeah. And like, to be honest, that screen over there isn't the end of the world. But it's not ideal, is it? Although that could live there now. Wait now. Put you in there like that. Oh, Jesus, then.
They've done studies, you know.
Listen!
60% of the time, it works.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm not happy what I've just done here. Basically, Murph, it was going grand until you absolutely, most definitely, positively shanked it. Let's see what happens. East Coast Inc. This channel legit puts me in a better mood. Listen! It's good to see that my pain and suffering is putting smiles on people's faces. I don't know what to do now. Does that move or does that move? And then my lights are flashing. Why would you flash me lights? Hammernail says, I do have to ask, and your setup is really impressive. Did you set up the studio yourself? I did. The engineer was, well, the idea was mine. As in, this is the setup I want, right? But to make it work, I needed Mr. Two-Tone and Gibbo to actually make the stuff work. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it works. Hermit something, very good morning to you. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out now, I can move this stuff over a little bit, but I don't want to move it over too far, because my Toby is sitting there. Now, I could put that other screen in there. This fella. Oof. He could live in there. What sort of real estate am I going to have? Righteous, that could work, that could work. I need to push it back a bit and then move these lads over to one side. You're CFI, good to see you, buddy. What am I planning to use the screen for? A few different things. I want to build like a widget, you know. So in effect, I'd have to move this gear over. And I don't know how
Houston,
well...
we have a problem.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know how it'll like that. I don't think it will like that. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I could move that over, but then I am definitely going to lose out on this screen. I'm going to end up blocking that screen. But it only has to move over a little bit. A little bit would do it. I don't know, lads. I don't know yet. Well, I mean, what I could do, I could put that screen on top of that monitor. There's an idea. What if I put this new screen here, but what if I mounted it up there? I mean, that could work, right? Mr. Noobter, good to see you. Yeah, no, we're in heading mode for a reason. Because we're flying to the Ferrari factory. First time joining a stream that involves plans. Plans, you say? Everything works until it doesn't. Why are us Canadians doing up so early? Keith, Canada, eh? It could go there, lads. It's a little bit out of reach. And then I need to mount it. Oh, behave. But I'd need to, you know, how would you mount it though? Well, it goes onto a normal 3 1/4 inch gadget. Which I'm sure I have something over here. Hello? That fella there's in use. I wonder would a mic arm do it? Oh wait, a mic arm will do it. Hang on. Move that out of the way for a minute. Jesus. Someone keep an eye on the flight there, will you? I know, that's after going in behind the thing. I'll never get it again. Ah, Jesus. How are we going to fix this? Oh, Jesus. Mother of God. How are we going to fix this mess? Jesus. I know. I need to take this out now. Hang on. That's the gadget that could hold it. Jesus, mind you. Oh, I'm after breaking my microphone. Look, who's in charge? Did you get a good long hard look at that, lads? You did? Ah, brilliant! Welcome to the Half Moon Cafe. Ha! Brilliant! Ha! Brilliant! Jesus, what did Murphy do the other day? He only went and flashed his whole to the whole community. They got a good long hard look at his arse crack there now. Could I put it onto this look? Yeah. Oh, wait now. Ah, oh, doesn't fit. Blast. Drat and damn. Jesus. Right, put you back there now. How do I... Oh yeah, I need to fix this now. Like 2 eggs in a hanky. Like 2 ferrets fighting in a sack. Huh? Ah, brilliant. Right, hang on, I need to fix all of this stuff now. You not just behave now for a minute. You know. Right. I'm in a mess. How do we... Jesus, how does that even come out?
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Stop turning off me lights! I need them! This drawer is shocking heavy. Oh, I built the thing too strong. Right now, I've took this one out. How did these... I need a smaller arm. I need an arm that has consumed... Oh wait, hang on. Nearly have it. I nearly... Yes! Brilliant! I fixed the thing and got it. Nearly lost my arm. Right, now put that back in there, look. Get in there now, good and tight. Yes. Close that. Put that over there. You up on top of it. And put you back to where you belong. I'm after pressing buttons on this screen now, look. Match the... I really hurt my arm. Right. Anyway, the wrong button, you muppet. Right, here we go. We're back to normality now. No, Viz, good to see you. Small hands need small arms. I'm about to hurt my arm. Jeez, the pain. Oh, look at the marks on the second thing. Oh. Hang on. I have to move everything again. Oh, Jesus. Wait now, will that do it? Hang on. Oh, Jesus. Right, now. Bit of dust action. Yes. Yes. Now. Small army, what are you talking about? Did this work? Could I be a genius? Hang on. Jesus, who put that on? Wait, last time I saw a crack like that was on me wall. Oh, Jesus. Righty tight, lefty. I can't. Hang on. I'll put on me gloves, look. Yes. It's all happening now, lads.
Can I get a refund?
Listen, this is why... Listen, right, I did this in my own time anyway, so, like... Don't be worried. I'm always doing stupid things. Oh, wait, hang on. It's tool time. What size wrench? Why do they call them an Allen key? Jesus, that's not going in anyway. Do you know, why do they call it an Allen key? Yes. Right. Now, how is this going to work exactly? Ah, look, this isn't a screw joint. Ah, balls. This isn't going to work. I don't think. No, it's not going to work. Well, feck. Who invented them? They were called Allen. Our key speaker Murph is already taken. A Murph key. Oh, hang on now.
Welcome to my secret underground
lair. 777, good to see you, buddy. Right, I'm looking for hope. Right, so this gadget doesn't really want to hold it. I'll take off the glove now, lads. You can all calm down. Alan was the holder of the key required on special projects. Uncle Ruckus, right. Get the welder out.
Hello there.
Hello. My arm is killing me. I nearly lost it. And I'm not exaggerating. Well, I am. This could work. But it doesn't really fit, does it? It's a little bit loosey-goosey. But what I'm thinking is this, lads. Look. If we were to do something... Oh, no, it's not going to be high enough to get over the monitor. That's that idea effect. Imagine then after I do all of this, I turn it on, the shagging thing doesn't work. You know what I mean? What did I buy that for? Oh, that was to hold the stand. Right, hang on. Right, well, we can't use that. What else do I have? Wait now. I don't want to put it on a tripod. That would just look odd and weird. You know what I mean? Right. Stop looking at me arse. Right? You know, man at work here. Just duct tape it. No, I'll get in trouble for doing that. You know, Jades, no. She'd be given out if I do things like that. It'd look terribly unorganised and messy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, lads. This is a conundrum. Where do we fit the stuff? You know what I mean? You don't have a monitor boom laying around. I don't. All me monitor booms are in, although, you know, they're all in use. At least I think they're all in use. Ceiling monitor boom. Are you mad? Hang on. There could be something in this drawer. You wouldn't know what you'd find in this place, lads. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here now. Oh, go easy. Me deck polish is there. I could use... No, that'll fall. No. Remember
Dreamy,
those hats in
sleepy,
the
nighty,
90s?
snoozy, snooze.
They held 2 cans of beer. I could be happy. Or, you know, heavy duty Velcro. I do have heavy duty Velcro. Just hang it from the ceiling. No, you can't hang it from this. Hang it from the ceiling. Oh wait, Jesus, we're nearly there. Look, hang on. The Ferrari factory. Where is it? Let's go. Let's go. Well, there's a church. Does anyone know what it looks like? This is Medina, or Medina. Is there like a big circuit near it? I don't see anything that remotely looks like a Ferrari factory over here, lads. Although, get rid of the shelf of many things. Gibbo, don't be giving me ideas like that. 3 friggin' massive screens. Is that it over there, I wonder? Or is that a railway station? It's a massive factory. Well, it's not that massive, I don't see it. We're overhead Medina. But I don't see a Ferrari factory. It's big, says Hammer Nails. Enzo Ferrari Museum. Now, where's the factory? Wait now. Nyum. There's the train station, right? It looks like it's over this neck of the woods. Let me see. So there's the train station. So it's out the road that way. Where's Swifty? Maranello outside. Maranello. Is it not a Ferrari? Maranello. Can we not just show the shagging thing? Maranello. Isn't it the circuit? Yeah, that is it. That's an Enzo Ferrari, right? Hang on. Your plane is still flying, mind you. Let's go back in this way. We'll find the ticket. We'll find it, friends. Don't you worry. Right. So we're reckoning it's in here. That's supposed to be it down there, but it's not really done well. Are we right in saying then it's not actually represented in the sim? Would that be a fair assumption? Because it's too... Would it be right in saying... Let's see now. I reckon you need a hanger out your back garden. As in a metal shed that you bolt onto the wall. No, listen. We've already looked into that before, Gibbo. That's mad building. You know what I mean? This does not look promising at all. Why can't I find this place? It is a circuit. Jack the Boss, good to see you. Greetings from Italy. Hope you're well, buddy. I'm here like an Aegis, trying to find something that I just can't. Ferrari factory is south of Medina. Okay, well, this is south of Medina. That there is Medina. I just don't see a circuit. Do you guys see a circuit down here? Huh. It ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good. I do not see one. And even if I get the layout of the land, right? It'd be way out this way. But not too way out this way. You're going east. It's 14 kilometers southeast. That would make it out here somewhere. The factory is in a small town. The town Montreal. Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't show the factory. What was that? Did you hear the bang? Question for chat. Monza or Imola, which is better? Ooh. Monza or Imola? That's a serious question. Why isn't this working now? Right, don't panic! Right. Where am I and how am I getting here? Rome information. Firefly 235 overhead Medina. We're going to be heading now our next waypoint for a full stop landing. Lima India Papa Foxtrot. Alright, watch your speed. Jeez, the weather's closing in, look. Okay, let's have a look now at our destination. Oh, balls, it's a small little runway. LIPF. What's the weather? Winds are variable. 09 left is what we're going for. 09 left. Okay. So it's pretty much straight in, look. Anyway, it's here. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I couldn't find it. It's grand. Right, we're rambling in for a landing. The test track of the roof of the building. I don't know. South to southwest, not east. Uh-oh. Steiny, we've gone the wrong way. And our ATC has given up on us as well. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, we're still being tracked by OnAir. And we're on our way now to the place of LIPF. That's where our full stop is going to be. But yeah, where do I mount that gadget now, lads? That's serious, you know. Serious questions. I would very much like it in front of me, but then I've all my Steam Decks. Or Stream Decks. Where the hell did they go? Because I just don't have, like, and I'm constantly reaching for those. In front. It'd be handy if it was there in front of me, you know what I mean? I'll figure that one out a little bit later on, sure. That's all we can do. So our plan here, lads, we're going to get this aircraft landed, complete our flight with OnAir, monitor our new pilot, Douglas Bader, and then we're going to be reviewing our VATSIM flight for this evening. What's the gadget for? Oh, that's right, yeah. No, I got it for, there's certain things I want to see when I'm live streaming. And I, you know, Discord can live in it for me mods chat, because I'm always hiding the mods chat in behind other windows, and the lads are trying to say stuff to me, and I'm like, right. So if I have that in front of me, then I can see the shagging thing, right? And then also I can put some specs, things like, you know, temperatures, CPU usage. It just monitors all of that in front of me. That's what I want. But I just need to set it up that way. But where it's going to go, lads, I don't know. I don't know. I do have my Windwing FCU unit there. This could go in place of that and then move the Windwing over to this guy over here. Maybe. Potentially I could do that. You know. But we'll see what happens. Right, let's get ourselves situated. We're going to drop a bit of altitude. Reset the barrow. We're going to come down to 4,000. Flight level change now. We'll VS. And we'll go down. Let's call it 1,000 feet a minute. Ease off on the speed.
Hello there.
And let's see, get some landing lights into play here as well. Zebra, thank you very much indeed. Welcome in. Alright, so our speed is starting to drop off. We're going to be flying straight in. 09er left is our runway. Ease back more at that speed. Man, I haven't flown this plane in so long. It's cool, isn't it? Like, it's a machine, this one. The old Italians again. Turd Ferguson, good to see you. Welcome in. They know how to make pretty things. Look at that. It's so unusual. That's what I love about it. There's nothing else that looks like this. You know? Right. What's our speed like now? 210? We're descending nicely. $20 out. Speed is dropping down nicely to 10. Altitude is coming down nicely. We're going. And the weather is looking good enough. We can do a visual approach. Econova, plane sounds crazy. There's one at your local airport. No way, man. Yeah, the engine's on it. Like, they're loud standing behind them. Inside, not too bad. Not too bad. How did our pizza go? Says they didn't touch it. And just like that, we took it away. I saw one coming into London, Boston once. Looked funky. Yeah. Did I say one of the? I saw one of these when I was in Rome before. It was actually at Campino, which was interesting. Mad looking machine. Alright, speed now 200, reducing more. Easy now. After pressing the button because I can't see with the friggin' thing in the way. Heating off. There we go. Right, landing lights are on. We'll make a little left turn here now in a moment as we come in for our approach. Easy now. Easy now. The ideal world, I'd have that right in front of me, but then where do all my stream decks go? You know? Thing is, the engines are just Pratt & Whitney PT6s. Yeah. But being pushers, they sound different. Very much so. Oh, yeah, they are. They're cool looking though. Like, it's such a unique airplane. And I love the fact that we have this in the sim. It's just awesome. Do you know? Right, Lima, India, Papa, Foxtrot. We had a very dodgy takeoff, as in... So, a little bit more time. It's amazing, like, and I've said this before, you know, it's amazing if you don't fly an aircraft for even, like, a little while, how rusty you become then trying to fly it. You know what I mean? Do you prefer this plane or the Lear fan? Oh, not this. This over the Lear fan. This definitely over the Lear fan, but the Starship over this, if that makes sense. Beautiful scenery, isn't it? Jesus. Right, what are we now? 10 miles? About 10 miles. I saw one in Rome too, flying over the park. Took me a while to figure out what it was. This is scary. Yeah. No, they're like the profile of the airplane Most unusual. Like, look how straight that wing is. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Right, we're going to level at 2,000 for our final approach. And there's going to be a small little left-hand turn to correct things on our 10-mile final. What town are we over? We're in the San Giovanni precinct. No, we're not. Ferrara, it's called. Ferrara. Tyler Hunt, good to see you. Welcome in, buddy. Alrighty. Autopilot coming off. I have control. Yeah, she's a little bit giddy on the pitch. I'll need to watch that. Yaw damper coming off. Notch of flaps coming out. And at this stage, guys, we can nearly drop the gear. And we'll very gently just send it. I don't yet have a visual. We will though very shortly. $120 on approach. There's our airport over there. Add in a little bit of trim. Easy. There's our runway. Okay, it's a small runway. Yeah, we do have, we've bait on this so we can bring it all the way back in. So this is a simulation. Can you fly into anywhere? Yeah, Tyler, 100%. 100%. The entire planet on a 1-to-1 scale replica. Which is very, very impressive. My watch is trying to tell me something. Shag off. Alright. That's 6 miles. 5 miles out now. MicroPro's B-17 is available now at Just Flight. Nice. Yeah, you know, for such an iconic airplane, deadly, absolutely deadly. All right, easy now. Watch your speed coming in. Job finished. Douglas Bader did his job. Brilliant. He earned his 6,000 smelly ones. This is fantastic. Just as we're landing, he's landing. Amazing pizza, good to see you. This is the P-180 Avanti by FlightFX. Jesus! Medic 24 Live, you can't be doing this just before we land! The man is creating a scene! 10 gifted Tier 1 subs onto Twitch. Medic 24 Live, thank you very, very much indeed, man. Lads, if you just got a Tier 1 sub with thanks to Medic 24 Live, well, do be sure to say thank you. The man is a legend. And I nearly ditched it. Easy now. What a legend. Surely Dev, something like that, yeah. Better butter it. Jeez, no pressure now. DX1, good morning. Hope you're well, man. Jeez, this is a small runway. Whose idea was this? Easy now. Easy now. Right, gear is down. Props are set. Flaps are set. Let's see what happens. What joystick am I using? I use the Virpil Controls, Constellation Alpha, and also the VPC Warbird base. It's rather nice. Right, easy now. We want to touch down early because it's a relatively short runway. Easy. Hold it. Easy. Right, idle. Hold the nose. Little J's.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Landing time logged.
That felt very rough. Into beta. Jesus, we absolutely hopped it there. Ascari, you devil! There's decel 50, 40. Yeah, I would have made it. Alright. We shall back taxi. That seemed like a bit of a heavy landing now, you know. We shall see. We shall see. How are the passengers? You should have eaten the pizza. You'd have sorted it all out, lads. Jesus. Right, get in here gently now. We can use this turn off. It's a glider port. Now, what are the runway small? It's designed for towing a couple of gliders, like, you know what I mean? Easy now. Alrighty then. OnAir will definitely tell us, hey, Cornwolf is here. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, remind me, lads, I need to download all deliveries for our VATSIM flight. What time of the day is it now? It's 20 to 2. Oh, look, there's a little tent here. This is default airfields. It's nice, isn't it? It's lovely detailing here. We'll go over by the tent and the little picnic bench. Alrighty then, hold station. Park and brake set. Ground idle. Alright, let's tidy up some stuff here. Bleed air coming off. Lights coming off. Fuel valve right hand side, start switch, they're all okay, they're all okay, they're all okay. Avionics on 2, down to 1. Engine 2 coming off.
Engine off, time logged. The flight is finished.
Engine 1 coming off.
Monitored by OnAir.
Excellent news. Pitot static. Blowers are already off. They're all okay. Hydraulics off. And get the chocks. Get the main door open. And welcome. What a nice little airport. That was pretty. Beautiful. I believe flights in 24 for PS5 won't be crossplay. Correct. You are correct, Augie, unfortunately. Right. What do you reckon the landing rate was? It seemed a lot heavier than what it was. Douche. Right. Your flight has been monitored. Very smooth, 181, look. All right, let's go in. So, let me see. We lost some points. What didn't it like? Beacon or strobe light when the engines were on. Overspeed. Okay, we lost some points there. Everything else in the flight was grand, but it didn't like our discipline when it came to lights. Beacon and strobes, that's a bug. Or maybe it's an issue with the aircraft, because my lights definitely were on. Now maybe, because the anti-collision lights have ground mode and then air, so I wonder on ground mode wasn't great. Our landing was decent. 189 feet per minute. 181, sorry. 181 feet a minute. Ooh. Do you think it's a massive problem or a good thing? Augie, I think it's a massive problem. You know, I think not having crossplay on PlayStation 5 is an opportunity missed, do you know? Right, we got some nice points here as well. Plenty of wear and tear in the aircraft as well. Aircraft handling bonus not obtained. That's because it was as rough. So we're going to okay this. Now, we also got to complete a job by our good old buddy buddy, Douglas. So we can have a look and see what he did. So he finished the flight. Took him 49 minutes. And I'd say now we're going to work the socks off this lad. So we're going to create a new work order from him. So before I do that, where is he currently situated? He's in Homerville, KHOE. So we need to get him out of there. Right? So let's see, KHOE. So we're going to say KHOE, Homerville, for Douglas. And he's in our PA-24. So... departure alternate. Let's see where we can get him to. Let's see what happens here. Because we'll give him, oh look, we have plenty of options. 10,800. Yes, take that on you, mad devil you. 3 passengers. So let's go to our pending jobs. This one here. Back into our work order. So that's a pending job, right? Work order. We'll find one now. Ishan, welcome in, buddy. Hope you're well. All right, let's edit this one. So our PA-24 with Douglas. And we want to... how do we set up the legs? So KOHE. So can we load, unload? Yes, we can. So we're going to load up that in the aircraft. He's okay for fuel. Passengers and fridges. We're going to activate this leg. And we're going to send him on to fly it. In progress. Okay, so in an hour and 40 minutes, he'll be plodding along doing that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So he's working on all our stuff there with OnAir. So that'll work in the background. Let's have a look at the operations map. This will show him where he is. So that's him working away there at the minute, right? It shows me back at base, even though I'm not. Although maybe I am. Income statement. So we can actually see income now that Douglas has made for us, right? Look at this, 10,000. 10th of the 9th, or 9th of the 10th. So that was Douglas flying that. So look at this. He's bringing, like, we're already starting to bring in money now. This is so cool. This is so cool. Any skills or ranks? So let's look at our skills tree. We've no points yet, but we're going to start getting lots of points now as well. Let me see here now. Pending jobs, favorite jobs, industries. We're not going into industries yet, but we will. Completed jobs. Freelance, goods and transport. Yeah, look at this. That's all the jobs that we've done. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Right, great stuff from OnAir. We shall continue on with that. You can set up multiple legs as well. Also, you can tweak the length of the routes. You're only looking at jobs of 100 to 150 miles. Nice. Yeah, we'll tackle into more of that now next week. We might spend a bit more time with OnAir, kind of just setting things up for the AI side to be flying all the routes, because it'd be very exciting to add more aircraft to our fleet, and of course to get more capabilities in there at different airports and FBOs and all the jazz. You know what I mean? So we'll definitely have a lot of fun with this. Medic, yeah, this is the it's a Piaggio P-180 Avanti. Most unusual looking machine. It's like, you know, the supervillain aircraft. Pretty cool though. It's from FlightFX. Like, it's a gorgeous rendition of it. Like, as mad looking as it is, it's a very, very, very nice airplane. They've done great work with this. And the engines are absolutely cool. And the detail on the engines. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So it's a pusher configuration with the Pratt & Whitney PT6s. Isn't it class looking? Absolutely class. Right, we're going to end this flight because, friends, now we need to focus on what our flight is going to be this evening, because this evening we're staying in flights in 2024. Actually, do you know what I need to do? Let's do this properly now. Let's quit this, right? Because I'll show you now what we need to do. So we're going to go to twotonemurphy.com, right? And we can close this and close that. So what I want to do, I'm logged in. I want to go to downloads because I want to grab now all of our downloads, right? So Phoenix, I don't think that the Phoenix liveries still are shagged, lads, aren't they? Am I right in saying all the Phoenix liveries are shagged? Yes. So there's no point grabbing them. Dougal, good to see you, buddy. 777 we can grab. iFly I should have, but we'll grab it just in case. Filter this by Firefly Air. Hi. Is that 2020? 2020 livery should work though, I think. Like I said, no, I was finding the 319 in 2024. Yeah, no, the VMware files don't work, I think, unfortunately. Right, we'll download these. Just to make sure that we have them all. I need to grab them anyway. The amount of work that went into these liveries is absolutely incredible. The lads did an incredible job. Incredible job. Phoenix. Right, we'll let them download. Right, this is the first little trick. I did a great flight in the 777 last night. You're going to stay with the 777? Dougal, are you right in saying that you went to bed at like 3 o'clock this morning? V Pilot is here. Good to see you, buddy. I have a question for your clever chat. I messed up my controls for my controller, PS4 compatible, and deleted a rogue profile collection, and now I can't control 2024. Does anyone know how I can get it to recognize my controller again and create a new default collection control mapping for it? Shirley Dev, plug it into a different USB. It'll identify it as new hardware. I landed at 3:10, bed at 4:25. Jesus, Dougal. Jesus. Right, that's the first part done. Right. Now, let's see. We'll try and get ourselves organised here a little bit, right? So here's all the downloads I just grabbed. And now we're going to go into our flights and files, liveries. And we do have Firefly Air stuff in here anyway. Firefly Air airliners. Hang on, they're all there, look. These are all there. I thought they were friggin' there. Just flight 146. Do we have that? No. In you go. Longitude. There you go. It's a slow process, but we'll get through it. Jesus, we'll get through it. 3 Phoenix A321 CFMs. Phoenix A321. Yeah, we have those. We have those. So 1, 2, 3 is done. Phoenix A320 version 2. Version 2, we have that. Phoenix 319s. Phoenix 319s. We have those. A321 Sharklets. I don't see those. Version 3. Oh wait, we do have them. Never mind. Never mind. A320 version 2. V2 we have. I am working on the Phoenix liveries to get them working. Nice. Yeah, it's a pity they're not working. A380. Fly-by-wire A380. Fly-by-wire A380. So hang on. If I had these already, was it Murph's problem that he just didn't turn the shagging things on? Would that make sense? So we have all of these now. Therefore, we're going to come into our add-ons linker. And we're going to check on a few things. So, liveries. Firefly Air Airlines. Turn them off. Turn them back on again. That looks good. That looks good. Stream only scenery. Let's have a look. So we will be out of Montreal and we're going to fly Tampa's Boston. So they're all loaded in. Right, perfect. Okay, perfecto. I think it's just the A320s that aren't working now. PH Roy, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Afel, good to see you. Welcome in. Right, so tonight we're going to be flying in the TBM 850, and this is going to be a flight from Montreal over to Boston, right? So to do this, we'll ramble in here now. And we're going to come down to VATSIM Thursday. And if we look at our VATSIM Thursday flights, we'll go into here. No, we won't. We'll go to here. And here's our VATSIM Thursday flight. So this is our routing. Full screen. Briefly departing Canada, heading back to the USA to what could be a challenging flight, ATC dependent. We're heading to Boston. Boston's colonial roots, irregular street layout, and a busy harbour make it a fun challenge to fly over. The surrounding New England coast is perfect for GA flights. Logan International, one of the very few major US airports with runways built partially on reclaimed land in the ocean. Not a lover of the threaded format. Can't find anything, says Dougal. You see, here's the thing, Dougal, right? We just need to come up with a way. Here's the thing about the thread stuff, right? Because these other channels need to go. That's what's making the thing confusing. If we just stick to the threads, it's easy. Because when you go into the thread, you start typing in here. If you were to type in even, you know, Boston, for example, or what is it, KBOS, it'll find the flight for you. You know what I'm saying? Like if we didn't have this open and we say, like, where are we flying tonight? Well, we're flying out of here. It'll find the things for you directly, rather than having to skip up and down through loads of different content. What's making it confusing right now is we're using both the threads and standard channels, and that's what's making the thing friggin' confusing. You know what I mean? Or, you know, it's not. Shut up, Morph, will you? It's a pain in the holes to change it, will you? Right. But anyway, so this is what we're doing. We're going to be flying out of Montreal, and we're going to go to Boston. So there's some freeware and payware scenery for all of these. The expected routing is going to be from Verka. So we're going to copy this. And we're going to go over now and start planning our flight. So our first bit is done. We're now going to bring over a new browser. We're going to open up SimBrief. And we're also going to open up a few other websites as well. We're going to type in VentuSky, and we're also going to put in VATSIM Radar. So these are the three websites we're going to do our homework on. All right. So SimBrief, we're going to go into the dispatch system. We'll start planning a flight here. So we shall go new flight. I'm going to bashing me heel. Jesus. We'll go new flight. Now, I am in a TBM, but I can still use the airline call sign. So we're going to depart out of Montreal and we're going to head down to Boston. And we're going to go in the TBM 850. Voila. All right. So it's all looking good. And on my tablet here, I can clear this, clear that. Logbook. Accept. And accept. Okay. Right, we'll go back into the tablet in a few moments. It's windy up here in Boston in the way, was it? Let's have a look at this. So it's going to be an IFR flight, that's all grand, and it's going to be taking us from Verka, the Victor 167 Airway, because there are rules that apply to us when we're flying these sort of aircraft, which is very important. Sky Vector. You have what is known as approved routes. We've looked at this before, right? So we want to open up the Boston TAC. So let's have a look here. So the Victor 167 Airway coming in. Right. That looks like it there, is it? 431, and then we have 167. 316. Victor 431 314 278 240. Okay, so we'll have a look at this in a moment, right? Yeah, your routing might be different. Yeah, my routing will be slightly different because we're GA. All right, as in we're not up at the high IFR levels at all. Right, we're very much low IFR low. So we're going to get our own special routing coming in here, right? Which is going to be the 167. So if we have a look at that here, let me see. And I need to look for approved routes as well, right? Now, let's see, can we do this correctly? So the Victor 167 airway. Right, so if we wings over New England, actually, into our website here, I need to refresh myself on these approved routes, right? So we're going to go into ATC series, FAA, ground school document, and we're looking for the approved routes. That's all oceanic stuff. Let's see now. Stage 4 communication position reporting. Oh wait, it's probably on the wings. Wings over New England. Okay, so we are looking for controllers, pilots. Yeah, log us in there and we'll get sorted. There is no approved route. I just want to be sure though, Malky. I want to be sure. Marty, good to see you. You're new here. So we're planning our flight for this evening. We're going to be flying on the VATSIM network, and we're going to be flying out of Montreal, heading down to Boston, right? So IF4 introduction airways, full flight concepts, VOR tech routes, non-precision full IS. It'll be in here. Let's see now. FAA preferred routes. Here we go. So origin is CYUL. Destination is going to be KBOS. Route type is going to be, it doesn't have to be tech. Let's just do a search. Grand. We heard it from the horse's mouth. So Malky just checked. Grand. Okay. So what they mean by this, if there was an approved or preferred routing, this is where the controllers want you to be. So if you go off and plan a flight and next thing, you know, you didn't check this, chances are they might throw a curveball at you and say, we're going to route you this way instead. So these are just things to keep an eye on. Doesn't impact on us at all. Right. Grand. Moving on. So we're going to be flying. Let's have a look at this routing here. So if I were to type this in, flight plan, we're going to go from CYUL right over to KBOS. And our routing is going to look like this. So here is, let me see. First waypoint is Verka. Next one then is ENE. Now ENE sounds like it's a VOR, which it is. Sanford, the Sanford VOR. Then they're going to put us on Victor 167. Now that doesn't say 167. Oh, it is, sorry. The Victor 167, and we ride in that puppy all the way down to Scup. And then Scup, we're in this way. Okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. Now, runways. Analyze the route. Let's see what altitude it wants to give us. We'll generate the flight. And we'll get an idea of what we're doing, right? Old veteran, good to see you. ENE is Kennybrook. Ah, okay. Sweet. Okay, well, let's have a look. They're going to give us 29,000 feet, which is fine. And the routing then is going to bring us out towards the northeast over Boston and come in over by the coast and by Salem. All right. So let's have a look here. The runways it's expecting is a 06 departure out of Montreal and a 04 left arrival into Boston. So let's go over and do a little bit of homework now on what the weather conditions are going to be like a little bit later on. So this is live at the minute temperature. So let's bring the time up this evening, 9 o'clock. So it's cold, about 12 degrees in Boston and about 10 degrees in Montreal. Jesus, that's considerably colder, isn't it? Let's have a look at the air pressure. Relatively high pressure, right? 30.5. So there's actually high pressure up there, which is grand. No major changes. Wind gusts. So let's have a look. Wind speed. So on the ground at the moment, it looks like the winds are going to be coming in from the west. And when we get down to Boston, the winds are coming in from the north. So we can expect the 0.4s maybe. Now, as the day kind of goes on, there doesn't seem to be much changes in Boston at ground level. So our runways shouldn't really change, right? Now, if we look at our cruising altitude, we're going to get bashed out of it. So let me see. When we take off Montreal, we're going to have a fairly lively tailwind, right? That's going to help us. So it says 65. Expect about a 50-knot tailwind, right? And by the time we're descending and turning back in, we'll be, that'll dissipate something fierce, like something fierce. See that? Like 20 knots. All right. So we're going to get a lovely tailwind. Now, also about cloud coverage. So where we're at the moment, Montreal, about 20%, Boston, clear skies at the moment. Later on this afternoon, it's going to be similar in Montreal, similar in Boston. It looks like Boston is going to be grand. So we have looked at the weather for our departure, our en route, our arrival. We've checked the wind, we've checked cloud coverage and the pressure. The last thing to do is look for any precip, but without clouds, there shouldn't be any real worry of precip, which there isn't, right? And there's no major fronts moving in from what I can see. This cold front has already come down and passed, and the next one isn't going to hit for a few more days. And that's starting to chuck some snow down. They look to be the first snows of the season now starting to hit into northern or into southern Canada. All right. So I'm happy enough with the weather. Right, let's have a quick look over here. This is on our VATSIM radar. Boston actually has tower on at the moment. Sweet. So we can actually load in here and have a now listen. So what I want to do, we're going to go into our sim. We're going to select our aircraft and see how we get on now with this in a moment, right? So I love these flights, the VATSIM flights. I always learn from them, and they are challenging as well. So we're going to take Black Square's TBM. We're going to stick it in our own livery. Thank you.
Hello there.
And let's see what happens here. So we're going to save this. Hassan, thank you very much indeed. Good to see you, buddy. So let me see. CYUL. So we have someone up here. Dougal, man, Dougal. Now, CYUL, I need to look at my charts because where is the FBO in Montreal? I think it's over here. I'm almost certain this is where signature is. Real-time live weather. Watching this portion of the stream is way better than looking at the local weather forecast. Brilliant. Brilliant. Wraith Tempest, good morning. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. Right, so what we do, as we're prepping for this flight, this is purely down to, review our flight, what we're doing, as you would in the real world. As sim pilots, we need to get in and figure out what the weather's going to be like. We need to know what the aircraft is going to be like. And we need to make sure that the scenery is working for us as well. All right. So, I hate when that happens. The tail number didn't register, so we'll just try one or two reloads. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I hate seeing an airplane without the tail number. Drives me friggin' nuts. I don't think that's any way better, but we'll see. Okay. In you get you, Big Jesse. Okay, frames are a little bit heavy, so let me see. There we go. Okay, that's what we want. Down here to tablet. Dynamic tail registration. They're waiting on Sim Update 4 to fix this. I really hope you can figure this one out. All right. Let me see. Close all that off. Well, for the aircraft, actually, we might stick it on ground power here for the moment. So external power. And that's already in there. So let's scroll upwards and let's go onto our GPU. Gens don't need. And we can also get some avionics and instruments turned on here as well. We're not going anywhere, but we'll have this turned on. Let me see now. Radio master switch and EFIS. All right, so let's have a look at what we're going to plan for this, right? So we need to connect to VATSIM to make sure all is well in the realm. CTAF up here in Canada, they use their own version of CTAF, so we'd have to. I'll just double check the charts now, Dougal, and we'll see what the story is. Okay, all of this. When will you start to fly? We're flying this one tonight at 1900 Zulu. Right, so the models are coming in there now. That looks good. We're going to connect. We are Firefly 235, and we're in a TBM8 code. Connect. We're connected. And let's have a quick look around. That looks good. Now, in terms of model matching, Dougal is here in Montreal.
Hello there.
Hello there. We just need to find him. Welcome in, Jesus the pilot. Now, what is Dougal in, or where is Dougal? Did you say 777, Dougal? Did you? Dee 319. I bet you that's you there. So our model matching settings. Model matching 24. FAA or FAA liveries 1.7. So it is there. Okay, but we don't have our liveries working, but nothing we can do there. All right, so in terms of the scenery, everything looks fine here. The runway in which we were planning to blast off from, but let's go in and start planning this one on Navigraph. So we'll cancel off our last flight, right? Unload, and we're going to import the new flight directly from SimBrief. And we'll have a now look here. So it is an IFR flight, but it's going to be low altitude. Well, we're not. We're fairly high altitude, actually. We're 39,000 feet. And our routing is a little bit different, but I don't believe this is going to show us the correct airways, is it? It does. Okay. So out of Montreal, we're expecting a departure out of runway 06 right. So we have a taxi and a half to get from all the way here. And look at our taxi. We need to plan this. So when we're taxiing, we're going to have to cross over and go down the far side onto Alpha. So we need to be aware of that, right? 390 in the TBM. No, what did I say? My altitude 31, was it? What was my altitude? Uh, 29. Beg your pardon. 290. 290. Its ceiling is 31, but we'll go 29, right? So we just need to be aware that when we're taxiing, right? These are the things planned for this. That's why we use our time now. So when we're calling for taxi, if there is ATC, we'd be crossing the runway and then heading all the way down onto Alpha and then back up to the runway from that side. All right? So that's what we'd be planning to do. As we get down beside our machine here. And we'll spend a bit of time looking at the routing here now as well. So let's have a look. 06 left is real world at the moment. Okay, so we can change that 06 left. Now, it's a non-standard departure, meaning that we're not on a SID. So when we take off, oh Jesus, hopefully it won't be 06 left, because that needs to come into our fuel planning, lads, right? I mean, you're going to be taxiing there for about 2 or 3 miles. Yeah. I'll keep it on the right, just to see. So our flight is going to be a non-standard departure. So we're going to leave Montreal, vector around to our first waypoint at Verca. From Verca, then we're heading 146 nautical miles all the way over to the Kennebunk. Is it? Yeah, Kennebunk VOR station. So we have plenty of nav aids to help us out along the way. We can fly GPS, of course we can, but we can also use some VOR in there if we wish. From Kennebunk, we're then going to be turning right down to probably about 167, because we're going to be going on the Victor 167 airway until we get down to a place called Scup. From Scup, things get interesting, because it hasn't given me a star either. So I'm hoping we'll just do a visual approach. So we're planning 04 left into Boston, which is unlikely. They'll probably give us 33 left or 33 right. Unlikely 33 right. They'll possibly give us 33 left. But if they do give us 04, grand. There's RNAVs and ILS is there if we need it. So we're going to be vectored from Scup coming in. This could be tricky now. 4 right is a better possibility. I'm thinking that. So let's add in 4 right for the crack. So we're going to have to get vectors now from Scup, which is out here, right? And if there's too much stuff on your screen, you can do this in Navigator. Turn off half the gear, look. That's just showing us the charts, right? So we're going to be from Scup. We're going to need vectors to get us in. Now we could ask for vectors for the ILS. Our initial fix then is going to be down at Nabo. And then we ramble in. That to me is going to be like there could be DME arcs and all this crack we can do, but if we fly direct Scup, there's a hole there if needs be. Then we're going to ask for vectors over to Nabo, and then Nabo is going to be our initial fix to get onto that ILS for 04 right. All right. Grand. Let's go in and have a look to see what this arrival or the approach. The missed approach. If things go wrong, climb to 3000 on the Boston VOR radial 030. Outbound over to Waxon, and then at 14 miles to Boston, hold. Okay, so we're flying straight in. It goes wrong. Climb to 3000 feet. Slight turn. See the slight turn? 030 degrees. Carry on for about 14 miles and hold. 4 right are being used for departures right now. 4 left are the arrivals. Okay, thanks, Dougal. Let's change this guy to 4 left. No ILS for 4 left. Alright, we'll do the RNAV. So, same difference. We'll request vectors to the RNAV for 04 left. Right? So Levron is going to be our first initial approach. So let's have a look here. So for 04 left, climb to 700 feet, then climbing left, turning, then climbing, swing a left turn until you get to 3000 feet, direct to Ujeg, and hold. Continue to climb in the hold up to 3000 feet. So Ujeg, that's an interesting name. Let's see, can we find that on the map? There it is. So it's north of Wakefield Parkway is up there. So depending on what our altitude, 3000 feet, we'll be able to see out the window what's going on, right? But it's out this neck of the woods. So we'll climb left turn up to 3000 feet, and it's going to hold at Ujeg. fairly straightforward. I'm happy enough with that in terms of our missed approach, right? If we don't have ATC coverage, we'll vector ourselves in from scope, right? And all we're going to ask when we get down to scope, we're going to ask for vectors to the RNAV. If we could do a visual approach either. I mean, that's the advantage of the airplane that we're in. We're in a TBM, you know? The Boston ATC guys are outstanding, but also take no prisoners, especially ground. Yeah, 100%. Like, we don't want to be messing around with these guys. Now, what else we can do? Dougal brought up the point of ground. So this is important. When we get down to Boston, because we're in a general aviation aircraft, when we're going from an FBO to an FBO, I don't need to go anywhere near, you know, terminals or gates or stands or any of this jazz. So if we're going to be landing on the 4s, probably 4 left or 4 right, well, we know that the FBO is all the way down here. And we'll check this out in the scenery shortly. But it means then we're going to exit, all going well, we're going to vacate the runway, possibly on Foxtrot, but to help with control and with flow, probably we'll exit on runway 33 and we'll be on to November. Probably, right? Or they'll probably they could tell us hang a left on 33 left and exit November, or hang a left on 33 right. So we could hear something quite mad. The ATIS will tell you if we're allowed to turn onto these runways if they're not active. They could use them as taxiways, but we'll wait and see. In an ideal world, in a TBM, I should be able to ramble off the runway at Foxtrot or Quebec. Should be able to. Failing that, of course, we can go all the way down to November. These are big, massive runways. In a TBM, we're going to stop well short of it unless something goes wrong. But if something is going to go wrong, we'll have to revert to our missed approach. All right? Right. Lovely hurdling. Let us go in now and look at the departure again, right? So we need to get a little bit of just thinking of what we're going to do here. So if we're starting all the way up here at the FBO, well, we've already worked out we can't taxi down this way. That'll make a mess, right? So more than likely, our taxiway is going to be crossing 2-4 and then head down on Alpha, right? That's what we're going to end up doing. We'll go all the way down on Alpha. We could do an intersection departure either. That's up to ATC. We could probably come in at Alpha 2. We don't need a full-length departure. Not for a TBM. So maybe that's one way of saving fuel. If we have to go the far side of the campus, well then we have a long L taxi, because that'll have to be all the way down to Alpha and probably jump off at Charlie, it looks like. Alright. Now, information here when it comes to departure. So runway incursions, no. Operational notes. Holding bay capacity, wide body aircraft, vehicles crossing, turns from. That's all looking fine to me. I'm not too worried about that. And then Boston. We know there are rules applicable to Boston. Lovely.
Hello there.
Let us go back into the airport. And let's see. So we'll get the ATIS, right? Aviation lover, welcome in, buddy. So the weather conditions over at Pierre Elliott Trudeau International, which is in Montreal, I'm not too worried about the VF or the METAR. It's the TAF that I want. So if we have a look at the 1800 Zulu, winds should be 260 at 8 knots. At the moment, they're 350. Is that going to have an impact? Not really. They're currently 350. That's why we're departing on the 6s. The wind is going to change later on to 260. That could force us to switch onto the 2-4s later on, lads. So we want to watch that, because the winds are changing coming in from the north to coming into the west. So even if the winds are coming in at 260 or 260, that's this direction. So they're blowing this way. I wouldn't be at all surprised, lads, if we're going to be departing from 2-4. If we're departing from 2-4 for the crack, what might impact on our departure? So if I were to edit this flight plan and say, do you know what? I'm going to go from 2-4. Is there going to be... the last waypoint in your route didn't connect with stars. Well, find me a new route. No. So there's no worry about SIDs. There's still no SID. Standard instrument departure. All right. Now, what's the likelihood if the weather changes in Boston? So we can see here, we're getting the terminal area forecast. That's a TAF. It's a forecast, right? So it's telling us that around 1800 Zulu today, the winds are going to be 260 at 8. So we plan in our heads, okay, well, worst case scenario, they change the runway direction, we take off from the 2-4s, and it's going to be much the same. When we blast off, we're still going to head down to our first waypoint at Verka, right? So if we change the runway here, let's call it 2-4 left. Let it load and think about it. Same story. It's going to be a left-hand turn to get us to Verka. That doesn't change at all. More than likely, you're going to be on the 2-4s. I'd say so, based on that TAF. But it's only a forecast. It's not a definite. Right, okay. Let us look at Boston. Let's look at Boston. So, the weather in Boston. Meteor is fine. Let's look at the TAF. So, between now and 11 o'clock tonight, winds 330 at 12, gusting to 23. And then later on, it's going to be winds 340. So I would think Boston is not going to change the direction of the runway. It's either going to be 04 left or 04 right. And there's 7 knots there. They might put us on 33, but I doubt it. Right? It depends on what way the traffic is. Like, put it this way, I would much rather land on 33 left. It's a shocking long runway, and I can float it all the way down and then just ramble off over here. That's where I want to get to, over to the FBO, right? They may not do that, but the direction of the wind is at 340 degrees. I mean, why not fly directly into it, right? But it all depends on how busy the airport is. If the airport is busy, they're going to want landing on one, departing on the other. Otherwise, they're relegating themselves to a single-use runway. You know what I mean? 2-7, unlikely. You're not going to get 2-7. That'll be a crosswind. All right. I'm happy enough there with the weather, with the forecast. Boston shouldn't change, depending on what runway they're using. Montreal probably will change. So we're expecting 2-4. If it's 06s, we're okay. If it's 2-4, it's us. Purple Kona says, in real life, the runway 9 or 27 closes mid-November. Oh, does it? Is that just for until mid-November? Ah, okay, Purple Kona. Sweet. Sweet. I put into SimBrief my expected departure time, and it thinks 2-4 left out of Montreal. Nice one, Malky. Okay, perfect. They handle much more traffic on 04 towards the weekend. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's our planning done. I'm happy enough with that, right? Ease off this fella now. In the meantime, let's horse all this into Garmin to see what Garmin thinks what the crack is going to be. So we're going to be blasting off out of CYUL. We're going to be arriving down into Boston. You go away. Shag off, Siri. We're going to be going to Boston, KBOS. Into Boston. And we can put in our routing here as well. So our routing was, what was it? Verka. V-I-R-K-A. Verka, which is an ORNAV intersection. Then it's over to Temper. T-E-M-P-R. From Temper, it's going to be over to the Kennebrook VOR. And from there, it's going to be the Ocean 5. Ooh, that is giving us a star. We could get a star. We'll put in scope for the moment, will we? We'll put in scope. Right, so 06, we can put in our departure. Procedure. select on the map, there isn't any. Procedures, runway 24 left. Then our arrival into Boston. Approach, we're going to plan for the ILS 04 left, which is now an RNAV 04 left. Vectors. Load approach. Aircraft for this one, November. I don't have a TBM loaded in. Right, let's create the trip and let's have a look, see it on the map, what it looks like. Don't worry about these warnings, as I say. It's what's the warning here? Aerodrome may be closed, please check NOTAMs. Really? Alright, let's activate that. And now this is going to give us similar details. Okay. So if you look at our charts, we'll go to Boston. We can look at our RNAV. This is only going to show me what I need. I need to get vectors to it, right? There's the missed approach we spoke about, all right? Transition is going to be vectors. We're going to be vectored over to Lavron, and then we're rambling in this way. We can also see our descent profile on our charts as well, all right? That's all well and good. There's our missed approach if we need it. Let's look at the details. Boston 80 is there. Whoa, MDA, good to see you, buddy. Hope you had a great stream, dude. Welcome in, Raiders. You join us here for some VATSIM planning for our flight this evening. And we're almost there. We're just having a look at some stuff, making sure we know what to do. So we're flying from Montreal down to Boston later on this evening in the TBM 850. So we're just going through just the planning to make sure everything's working and there's no surprises a little bit later on. But I hope you're well, dude. Hope you had a great stream. So yeah, general aviation ramp. This is where signature flight support is, so that's where we're landing. Yeah. So that's exactly what we wanted. Now there's a ton of NOTAMs. Let's have a look. Aerodrome closed. Non-scheduled transient GA aircraft except prior permission. Oh, Jesus. Why is that now? Effective until October 30th. Runway 1533 closed. 1432. 0927 closed. So 33 right is closed, so we can use that. Taxiway Charlie between 04 right is closed. Taxiway closure. Apron closed. JPAD, that's okay. Service is in there as well. What's this one about the ADAP? Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? That's absolutely mad. Rico, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Corsair Chef, welcome in. Hope you had an awesome stream, lads. Crikey, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Crikey. Right, that's all good. Let's look at the airport. Let us look at Boston. We'll be parking ourselves up there. Right, okay. Okie dokie. Nav aids in the vicinity. But we do have the Boston VOR, which is going to be our main worry. You know what I mean? That's going to be our main worry if we need to. Right. Aerodrome 4 runways may be closed. That's quite okay. Trip planning. It's not liking the aircraft, but that's okay. Wait, can I actually select an aircraft for this? Can I add an aircraft to this? Can I add an aircraft to this? Now, is it Socata? No. No, they don't have one, right? Don't worry about that. That's only for extra stuff we don't need to worry about. That's what our flight plan is going to look like either way, right? So for our next trick now, we're going to load into Boston, which is important. So happy enough with the scenery. We're going to load in now into Boston. Good day for a cup of chowder. Brilliant. Okay, so let's load into KBOS. We're going to head over to Signature. Let's see here now. Boston. There we go. Oh, it's good. load her in, and we'll have an old gawk to see what's happening. And was that the official command, Dave Cleary? It was, yeah. All right, so we are not connected to the network. We'll have a quick look here. Again, before you connect to the network, lads, always check your VATSIM radar so you don't make, an idiot move. So let's see. VATSIM radar in Boston. There is traffic here, so we need to be careful. Go with that. And will you get us down to Boston, please? Okay, so Jesus, there's a fella. Death 1-1 is in a B2 bomber. You're joking me. Right, so we can connect. Freaking headbangers, man. Right. Connect. We're connected. Okay. Same crack again. Let's get the ground power unit. Payload. External power. And I'm not worried about talking to ATC just yet. Were they on or off? I can't remember. There we go. Okie dokie. So, Boston 8 is 135.
Advise on initial contact. You have information November. Boston Logan Airport HS information November. 1254 Zulu. Web 350 at 15 gust 25. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 4,000. Temperature 9er. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3040. Area navigation runway 4 left. Departing runway 4 right. Runway 33 right is approved for turnoff after landing.
We taught that.
All aircraft reach take all hold short instructions and decide altitudes.
Okay, we'll have a listen to the tower frequency here now as well, right? So let's see what aircraft are here on the ground. So there's a BA sitting there. I can't believe there's a friggin' B2. That's like hilarious. He was over here, wasn't he? Does VATSIM do model matching for a B2? Oh, you doubt it. It doesn't seem to be showing him at all. Oh, man. I wanted to see a B2. A mad devil flying a friggin' B2 on VATSIM.
Hello there.
Josh Riley, good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. Am I right in saying that it was there? Did you say? Oh, it is there. Look, Jesus, that's how good their camouflage is. That's mad, man. He's on VATSIM with a B2. I should load in something like, a B-17 or something. Alrighty, so we do have a bit of a conundrum here because we have extra taxiway signage. Huh. How do we... Oh, Jesus, then. How do we fix... This is an issue. How do we fix this?
JetBlue 631, I could taxi, Charlie 7.
JetBlue 631, clock mode, Charlie.
There's a file I need to update, I think. It's with the taxi markings, isn't it?
JetBlue 631, runway 4 right, taxi via Quebec, Bravo, cross the 4 left approach.
Quebec, Bravo, cross 4 left approach, JetBlue 631.
Real taxiways. Custom taxiway sign model and textures, including improved nighttime. So where do we find this now? Real taxiways. Black square. Real taxiways. Do. Right, so we need to remove one. What's new? Custom corrections, enhancements, limitations, installations, uninstalling, excluding airports. The easiest way to exclude an airport from your real taxiway installation is to remove or rename the airport's specific BGL file from the appropriate package for your installation. Avoid misplacing or losing it. Recommend that you simply rename it by adding the extension or the extension back. All right, okay. So, scenery, taxi sign, no. Scenery global, KBOS, KBOS dot BAK.
Tower, Death 1-1 Heavy, just confirming we're clear to cross the hold line at 9 as well.
Now, when I reload all of this, it'll fix it.
Death 1-1 Heavy, yes, that's affirmative. That's cross the 4 left approach. That's what it basically means. You can cross both of them.
Death 1-1 Heavy.
Where'd he go? He was there. He disappeared now. This time, he genuinely disappeared this time, lads. I might just do a quick radio check to make sure all is working. The Boston lads, you could tell me to shag off, but sure, listen, we'll ask the question. What's he? Boston Tower, isn't he? Boston Tower, Firefly 235, radio check.
Firefly 235, Boston Tower, good morning, read you loud and clear.
Cheers, thanks. Boston. You gotta love the accent, man. Boston. Right. I could are you going to be on later? He's taxi. Oh, there he is, look. Ah, brilliant. I'm very much looking forward to this flight into Boston. And then next week, I'm very much looking forward to that flight.
That's 1-1 Heavy, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 4 right, Death 1-1 Heavy.
Delta 1 Heavy. Stay back. That's a secret aircraft. You can't be that close to him, JetBlue. The week after we're going to be departing Boston, I'm going to fly in the A340. So we're kind of going from, like, you know, smally small to tally tall very quickly, aren't we? It's going to be loads of fun, though. It really is. It's going to be loads of fun. Right, let's watch this lad take off, and then I think that's going to do us for this afternoon, lads. We're going to be back this evening. Looking forward to this flight. Oh, Death 11. Or Death 1-1 Heavy. Maybe you're saying Death 1. I don't know. Maybe you're saying Death 1-1. Heavy. His call sign is friggin' Death.
JetBlue 631, runway 4 right, line up and wait. Caution, wake turbulence, a heavy departs.
Line up and wait, runway 4 right, JetBlue 631.
Yup. That thing is ridiculous. He's flying it on VATSIM. Is he mad? Absolutely crazy. Right, the good news is everything's working. Don't touch anything. Nothing will break. Everything's going to be fine. And sure, listen, we'll be back then at 1900 Zulu this evening in about 5 hours time, friends. So I'm very much looking forward to this flight. It's going to be a ton of
That's
fun.
1-1 Heavy, departure is offline, frequency change is approved. Have a good flight.
That's
Thanks for the help, Death 1-1 Heavy, see ya.
He even sounds like a badass. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. Sunjammer says, looks like X-Plane is okay for me. Ooh, nice. Thing is flown by computers, right? Nuts. Right, lads, that's going to do us. We're back this evening at 1900 Zulu time for our flight live on the VATSIM network as we go from Montreal to Boston. I'm looking forward to this one immensely.
Double 631 runway 4 right, clear for takeoff.
I'm at the back of me hand.
Well, clear for takeoff. Double 631.
Right, that's the end of that. And looking forward to this now this evening. So guys, thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in and for all the support. Absolutely insane support today. Thank you very, very much indeed. We'll see you this evening. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you tune in tonight. You'll be seeing the full VATSIM flight. Maybe you're saying, Jays, I'd love to do VATSIM. Check us out this evening, and if you have any questions, just let us know. I'll be flying in the TBM, but I know the lads are going to be taking up all sorts of other aircraft, business jets, heavy airliners as well. So there'll be a nice mix of aircraft for us this evening. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.